Nerdrotic.com.
Cause I'm probably late. Oh, Friday night fights. Radical lights and highly organized. It's Friday night tights, Friday night tights. Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, Friday night tights. We're not affiliated, just so we're clear.
Shad's yawning. Oh, Shad.
Happy New Year.
What time is it over there?
It's actually not too bad. It's 8 in the morning. It's when it's not daylight savings. That's when it's much worse.
Yeah.
But I'm still recovering. I'm almost there. You know.
What, from drinking too much milk? I mean, like,
yeah.
what are you recovering from?
Milk. When you're on your third glass of orange juice, Gary, that thing can hit you. Okay, I'm just saying.
It's a little acidic. Okay,
vitamin C overload right there.
The sugar rush gets him.
It gets to you. Well, and you live clean.
Yeah, I was going to say Mike's the diabetic one on the panel. He's the one that's.
I don't have diabetes.
It's all in his foot.
Why you got the sugar foot, man?
I only have gout.
I have a lot of other diseases, but not diabetes.
Not
okay?
diabetes. Don't put that one on me, man.
Diabetes.
I got sugar foot.
What
My
the
name's
hell?
Wilfred
X-ray girl.
Whoa, what is that?
What's going on? Are you in a prison cell? Because that's a prison.
No, but there is. Oh no, there's.
Did you not notice the light until somebody said something? Because you noticed it was just right in her face, and when somebody said something, she was like, "Oh yeah." That's...
Well, I mean.
That's what the cat is on.
She's like, normally,
how long have you been sitting in chat for? For like 15, 20 minutes?
So it's hard to tell.
Can't tell if I'm asleep.
Anyways,
the sun came from nowhere. I thought it was a skunk for a second there.
Hey.
I'm now a furry.
Oh, well, that's a great way to start the year. Welcome to 2026. Everybody, hope you had a happy new year. The gang's all here. We're going to talk about Stranger Things. Honestly, there's nothing else out. Yes, I know there's a movie that's about to hit $1 billion at the box office, but nobody's talking about it and nobody can remember it. So we're going to talk about the Stranger Things finale instead. We're also going to talk a little bit about Marvel. I don't know if we're going to get into Will Smith's. Somebody else did, maybe.
Oh. It sounds like Will Smith may have wanted to get into somebody else.
Oh,
so, Big Willie style.
Oh,
Willie style. And that is the least surprising news of the century. And then we're going to go over our best and worst of 2025. Best and worst. So I hope, again, you all had a happy new year and you're not like hungover. I see. That's the great thing about being sober. I wake up the new year. I feel great. I feel refreshed.
Well, that's the great thing about being drunk all the time, Gary. I can't get hangovers.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just stay drunk. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. So much for your liver, but it's okay. I just, my liver's still like one of a 72-year-old man. It got destroyed. So I don't know if it's going to heal or not. But yes, the Critical Drinker is here.
Hello. Absolute pleasure to be here as always.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, I guess StreamYards is now, what's it called again? What's the name of the company that took over?
It's still StreamYards, but it just got bought out by somebody else, so who knows? I'm sure they'll raise the fucking prices again, those cocksuckers.
Oh, they absolutely will. And they
I'm
made
not
it-
going to tell you what kind of company it was. It was a Jewish company.
Oy vey.
You just told us.
Wait, halt. Yeah.
That's it's a Kanye meme.
Yeah, that narrows it down, Kanye. Thank you.
The real ones in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about.
The
Okay?
real ones. Oy vey. Yeah, welcome to the show, drinker. Appreciate you
It's
being
awesome
here.
to be here. I apologize for my lack of on-screen presence. I think my camera's been acting up a little bit today.
I think it's a StreamYard issue.
Could be,
So it's all good. Most people are listening, right? You're not watching us.
Yeah, why would you want to look at us?
Why would you?
Horrifying.
I don't know. But I think Chrissy's in back. Is Chrissy in back?
Here.
Hi,
Man,
Chrissy.
Why? All I heard is her coming and going, grr. What was that first bit?
Happy New Year, gang. Oh my god. This finale, I can't. I'm just I cried like a bitch.
And that's what it was for. It was for girls to cry.
None of you cried.
No, I didn't. I felt it was.
I laughed a lot.
I mean,
Why?
the actor playing Will cried enough for all of humanity.
Seriously.
He really did.
Why?
I laughed.
I thought
they had
Millie
some-
Bobby Brown's ability to cry on command was getting abused, but holy shit, man, they went all out with that dude.
He was crying blood. Different.
He was crying blood at one point. Yeah, I can't say I fucking cried during the finale. However, I do think there were some good moments, like from all the years with these characters and stuff. I think there's some decent ones in the midst of some stuff that didn't need to be there. But,
Too bad I got spoiled by the rest of it. Like that's the really down the worst part about it is that there are so many really cool moments at the very end, but it didn't deserve it. Like nothing that they did these last
I
season
think
earned
it's
it.
all overplayed. It's all like overwritten, and I think like Will's coming out scene is actually a perfect encapsulation of the problem this season had, where it could have been done with a much simpler, much quieter scene that would have had way more impact and just let the actors do their job. Instead, it's this big, extravagant, melodramatic Hallmark Channel nonsense. And then everyone gets him in a group hug and they all clap and it's all just amazing, right? Didn't need all that, but that's what the whole season's like. At least I can say with the Duffer Brothers, they're not like Dan and Dave trying to speed run their way through the final season of Game of Thrones. Like they just didn't give a shit about it. These guys perhaps cared a little bit too much and they just went and over-egged it. And that's the real problem with this one.
Yeah, and they lost their balance of, there's plot and there's elements that you kind of need to give us information on, and they kind of didn't, and they kind of forgot about those and didn't think it was important, so they can have these longer emotional scenes that were there to elicit, to make Chrissy cry, and it's totally going to work because they spent a fucking hour on it, but they didn't wrap up anything tightly at all. Like it was a complete mess, and what Odin said, we lost some good, really genuinely good character moments in absolute ridiculousness. Like you put up the tweet. Like, imagine if somebody who just finished season 1 had watched this scene from the finale.
That would put everyone off the show forever. That would be like, well, this is where it's heading. This is what this show is going to become. Nah, I'll sign out. I don't need this.
Right.
Because season 1 was like this really tight, well-constructed mystery. It was small scale for the most part. A single Demigorgon is like the big, terrifying monster of that whole season. And by the time you get to the ends, like, I get that there's always going to be power creep and they have to ramp up the stakes and stuff. You're on alien worlds fighting like a monster the size of fucking Godzilla, and realities are exploding around you, like entire worlds are about to merge together. People are flying through the air. People can just move buildings with their minds. It's all too much, and just because it's bigger doesn't make it better. I think that's the lesson that you really learned from this season.
It wasn't even just that. It was in the second clip you showed, all the cast from the season 1 were just standing around staring at everybody else do things for them. So if you like the first season, you're like, oh, my characters will just get put in the background.
The Duffer Brothers just cannot manage their characters. They keep creating new ones, and some of them are good, to be fair. Derek was pretty good. Eddie obviously was great. but for the most part, they don't get rid of old ones or they don't kill off the new ones to like even things out. They just keep adding more and more and more. It's like a fucking kleptomaniac who just can't stop stealing stuff.
I don't think they
Oh,
wanted
you mean
to
like
kill-
Winona Ryder?
They didn't want to like kill a lot of kids and have like kid bodies.
No,
they
well,
weren't
even
for
you don't
no
have
reason.
to kill them. Like they can just leave. They can get like sent off to other places or something. There's ways to remove them from the narrative.
Oh, they did. They had no problem removing certain people from the narrative that just disappeared for no reason.
Like Argyle, and it doesn't make sense for Argyle to hang around. He's literally like doesn't live there. He drove him across a thing.
Dr.
But yeah,
Samuel.
There are just too many characters, and obviously the majority of people are gonna like the main cast from the first season because they've been the ones that have been part of everything. And to be fair, there have been characters that have been around that I didn't really like and I turned around on. Characters like Max. I wasn't a huge fan of Max in season 2. Really, or 3. She was okay in 3, but 4, I'm like, I kind of like Max now. I almost wish she would have died, but it's obviously not that they wanted a happy ending for everybody. That's what they wanted essentially for this entire thing. And in the era where we want to see stakes, it can make it seem like there's none. And I think that's the main thing. It's not that we want to see people dying. It's not that we want to see like these characters that we love. We don't want to see their deaths, but we need to know something has stakes. And when you have such an insane concept of what we're doing in this season, when the end of the world is at stake, when all of these things are happening, this massive kaiju mind flayer, and no one important has died. You can't even kill off like Ted or something or Karen. It doesn't feel like the stakes are there for the characters. So
Yeah, I think his attachment to the actors themselves, like IRL from working with them all these years, I think you can see that. Like you can see there's a love for them. And I think he just didn't want to kill anybody off because of the fifis IRL. So
yeah,
I don't kill your darlings though. Otherwise, it's a jumbled mess.
Yeah. It's a really common problem with like television shows that they get attached to the actors and then will sacrifice quality for keeping them around.
But then when the season's ending anyway, with the show's ending, it's like, well, you're gonna have to say goodbye to all of them anyway. So that's probably a great time to start killing people off.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's funny because like you can have these things in your mind and then change it. It ends up being awesome. Like Steve was supposed to die, right? Steve was supposed to die in the first season. And because of the chemistry he had, because of kind of how he popped off screen, they changed things and they decided to keep Steve around. And Steve's one of my favorite characters, has been one of my favorite characters throughout the entire series. But when you do that with every single person, it feels bloated.
Not all of them are as likable as Steve. The actors aren't as good and the characters aren't as good. Robin. She should have fucking died like 2 seasons ago. She was so fucking irritating.
Yeah. Lucas hasn't had anything to do for 3 seasons.
He's had plenty to do as he is there to make sure, worry about Max and cry for Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what his character became.
He is
Max's
the Finn to
wife.
Maxie's Ray.
Yeah. Yes.
That's all he is.
Oh, that's a good observation.
Yeah.
He saved Maxine at the end.
By her.
there's a moment where he calls Max sexy at one point. And I was like, ugh. I was like, stop, you're kids. You're not supposed to know that word.
I think
I said a lot worse when I was his age.
Yeah. Should we have the spoiler
20.
thing on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
We are basically talking about all this stuff. So
Fixed it.
Yeah, I saw like a meme of Stranger Things season 7, and it's a pregnant a pregnant Max with a black eye.
I love the internet, and there's so many memes. I guess, yeah.
I've seen the pregnant Will ones with Vecna holding his hand.
I like all the Demogorgons on holiday taking selfies.
I know.
Like, well, Vecna's fighting.
He'll be all right. What's the worst that can happen?
Think about it. Eddie died to a bunch of demon bats, and nobody died to the fucking kaiju. For
Eddie
goodness
was
sake.
a pussy, obviously.
Not to mention, Mind Flayer dies in like almost no time at all compared to some of the others.
So exactly, the Demigorgons were nearly invincible, except when there was a girl power moment when it was vulnerable.
Except when
to a
it
broken bottle.
needs to be.
But then it could take on an entire army, and then they're eating up this kaiju thing like it's weak as hell. The power scaling was just
all over the place.
Yeah, for a mind flayer, it doesn't seem to flame any minds in this season either.
No,
it doesn't. So, Stranger Things season 5 is its worst season. Like, not even questionable at this point.
Season 3 was rough though, man.
It's worse. Season 5 is actually worse because season 3. Stupid things were happening, but as I said in your show yesterday, I can believe the Russians infiltrated Indiana and dug in a secret base under a fucking mall more than I can believe Rambo Nancy leading the charge against the fucking kaiju on a different planet.
Who's gonna be bait? I will.
Where did you get all this training?
I'm not going to wait for you to get away first, so we're all
we talked about this in open bar last night, where their whole plan is like, right, I'll lead them into a canyon, you guys be on the mountain on top, ready to attack it, and then she just immediately springs into action. Like, they haven't even had time to move or anything. It's like, how do you expect us to get up there and be ready?
Yeah. That was the thing, because they go, we need to get on the mountain. There's only one question left. Yeah, how'd you get on the mountain? And they just run past it and somehow get on top of it.
But
it took like an hour to get up there.
But they repeated so much stuff, treaded so much water, dumped so much exposition throughout the entire season, to where I can say that this is based on a sliding scale of this was a bad season, that the 5th episode, or the final episode, had better moments than the rest of the entire season, right? Yes. So it had some moments that I like, oh man, this is what I've been waiting for, but it was all in the epilogue, and it was all unearned because of the ridiculousness of the first hour. Vecna went out like a bitch. He did. Yeah, he did. And the mind flare, and I was happy. I'm like, oh my God, thank God that it's not Vecna is evil and he's gonna turn good at the end. He chose evil, and I'm like, yes, choose evil, Vecna. We need evil villain. And they gave a voice to the mind flare, the Eldritch God. He's all, find me. And they did nothing fucking with it. So I saw the cave scene. I'm like, well, they're gonna certainly explain that, won't they? Give us a little more physics of the Upside Down. Maybe explain why the military didn't notice a giant fucking planet descending on them in the Upside Down, which they didn't do. Maybe we'll find out what happens afterwards, after Hopper kills about 37 servicemen who all had families, and the military just fucks off without a word. Is Dr. Samuel still like handcuffed to? Is there a skeleton handcuffed to a fucking pipe from season 4?
I think the actual all of those are like excellent points about, why didn't they talk about this? Why didn't they talk about this? What happened? I think that one of the actual biggest things that we didn't get talked about at all are the pregnant women with children that are in the lab in the Upside Down.
Disappeared.
Did they all get blown up or what?
They would die. They're all dead.
Yeah, they're probably all dead.
And now it did seem to me like they were dying because the experiments with Callie wasn't working. So whatever, you could have maybe said something or addressed it, but they are still there kind of in prison going through this thing, and they just got all wiped
evacuate? Well, we don't did they evacuate them? Did they die? We have no idea. So they just disappear from the story, which is a pretty important part. And like a part I would have liked to have seen more. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now we have some what I was missing from the entire season is, why is the military doing this? Who in the fuck is Linda Hamilton? Why are they, I get they're there for the quarantine, but what's their motivation? And they finally show it and they just forget about it. And Linda Hamilton is like one of the most useless characters in television history. She did nothing. She was a woman playing a man. Basically, and she outdid her horrible performance in Dark Fate.
Yeah, she was just given nothing to work with. Like, if you asked me to define that character's motivations, her personality, I couldn't tell you anything. She's just angry military lady. I've got no idea of what her backstory is or anything.
But
it could have been a great
find L, and that's basically it.
But
but that's great though. That is the key to like the moral thing, the twist of it, because it means that 11 is evil. She is doing the wrong thing by resisting going to the military. The only reason the kids defeated Vecna and not the military is because 11 was there and they had the powers. So the military were doing the last thing they had. Well, the Earth's gonna die if we don't, so we're gonna try and make them, and that means we have to sacrifice these people. Whereas if 11 went there, it would have worked, and they could have had an army of 11s.
No.
You need
So
them.
That's not what the military's goal is. The military doesn't even. I don't even think the military comprehends that the world's going to end because of all this.
They didn't know anything
the military
about Vecna,
specifically.
which is
that's also the kids' fault.
Yeah,
they're specifically trying to weaponize this. Like you even see Linda
Use them
Hamilton with
against
the
the
line
Russians.
about having the essentially being able to control these things and put them in Russia to fight for them. Like that's what the goal of the military and a lot of members of the government has always been. It's to weaponize these projects because that's kind of how they started.
They're so out of their depth, like they don't even know.
The problem is
so they capture everyone at the end, and then Will's captured, and Will's now got powers, of course. And then the next thing we see are they being interrogated? Are they being dragged over the coals? What's happening? Where's the repercussions? No, fades to fucking black or whatever, and then it says 18 months later, and everyone's just walking around.
Yep.
So what the fucking use was the military in the first fucking place? Did they just go, "Oh, see ya"?
Well, let's go to that.
They're just like, "Oh, let's bygones be bygones." Yeah, these pretty much all of them are responsible for killing at least some military personnel. Nancy gunned down several soldiers. 11 killed a bunch of them when she rescued Hopper. Hopper obviously himself killed a whole bunch of them.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it would almost, you could have almost made it work if when they go to the abyss, the military shows up to help them. They realize there's a bigger threat. They show up. Linda Hamilton gets a girl boss moment, and all that stuff, and they fuck up the mind flayer, and that's what happens. So at the end, when they kind of turn on them, it makes Elle's decision make more sense because she's like, okay, now I'm kind of causing problems again. And then it also makes you go, cool. You know what? We all kind of helped each other. Cool. We all fought in the trenches. Maybe we'll just kind of let this one slide, But that doesn't happen.
Yeah, clearly they let it be off the hook.
There had to be a realization of what the threat actually was. For the military, and there was zero. And so when you got these
Ryan explained it better than they did on the
16-year-old kids running around, just murking this kaiju left, right, and center. The flare gun setting it all on fire. Nancy, who couldn't fucking hold that gun if it was real. Never mind fucking shoot the damn thing. Braying away. And I think, like I said, Lucas was throwing fucking water balloons by the fucking looks of it.
It was petrol.
The other one's just firing bloody arrows. It's just like,
so there is an aspect of that, however, that I really did, because that is the D&D aspect of this entire thing.
I get
all these
that,
people with their different weapons, their different specialities, their different classes, all joining together to fight this ridiculous monster. And there's an element of that I really liked. It could have been executed a lot better, but in spirit of what this entire thing is about D&D, I did enjoy that at the end. Everybody doing their different thing with their different set of weapons. I
think that would have made it stronger if the military had turned up, because they're like, wait, you just defeated this with high ground? We have helicopters. And it is a bit stupid that the kids have been trying to fight this thing for 5 series. I would have at least brought that in at the end.
You could have the Dungeons and Dragons vision of it, but then you've got the military firing tanks, firing from copters, which are making the kids' bow and arrows kind of look. They sort of merge the effects. So the tank fires, and then the bow and arrow goes off, then the explosion happens. So that it's kind of giving the illusion that the Dungeons and Dragons element is having this effect on the kaiju. That would have been
that's what they did in season 1, isn't it? When Lucas is firing the slingshot at the Demigorgon, and they think it's damaged it, and it's actually 11 who stepped in to finish it off. So yeah, you can do that sort of thing.
I saw that laugh so fucking hard.
I talked about this on Twitter today. I think what she was doing,
I agree with you,
was hitting the bolt release, which you have to press down with your thumb, but she's obviously not strong enough to do it by herself, and so she has to brace her hand against the carry handle to get extra leverage. I think that's what she was doing there.
The thing is, if you were doing that, you would leverage surely the handle, and she pulls it back. She pulls the handle backwards.
But that
So
handle
she's not-
doesn't move.
No, I know, which is why it just looks like she's pulling the handle backwards. There's no leverage with what she's doing with her hand there.
No, I agree with you, Drinker. Like, I do think that that's what it's supposed to be. She's supposed to be pushing it because she's a woman and doesn't have very strong hands and needs that to do her thumb. However, the rack sound effect they used makes it feel like she's taking that carry handle that does not move and going.
You notice as well, because they had to do this in 2 shots.
Slap so hard.
Doing her best.
Because she couldn't do this entire movement of putting the magazine in and then doing the bolt release in one movement, so they had to do it in 2 shots, and I'm willing to bet that was completely different takes, and then they just had to merge it together.
Yep.
I love how she's looking like Ripley from Alien.
Well, the scene when they try
Rambo.
to offload it on the kaiju can be enjoyable if you turn off your brain and ignore everything. And the big thing that there is, like, you guys are throwing like water bottles filled with petrol and poking at it with sticks, right? And you have a little, pea shooter gun, and you're tearing this thing up, which is supposed to be nigh invulnerable. It just like ends up being really stupid. And
What do you guys want them to lose? Do you want all the kids to die?
No, what you do? No,
I
but
think
what you do is
I
you
think
have
what
It makes
anymore.
fucking sense.
you have scaling.
What's
and
funny?
like,
What's funny about this sequence though is like the kaiju is like lumbering around, and like every time it does, Vecna is like stumbling and falling over inside it, like while he's trying to have this fight, and it
he
just
can
looks so
fly.
goofy. Well, it's just he's meant to be this super intimidating villain, and he's like falling over like me on a Saturday night, like he's like, can't stand on his feet.
you could have had scaling here and like just have the kids fight Vecna. He has enough things at his disposal. Have them shooting tentacles, and you could have had Demodog show up. You could have had them had a smaller scale fight, and the military handle the bigger monster available.
And the bigger
and that
monster
would've-
was like shadowy in the background, descending somehow. There's a lot of ways you could have done this.
Well, because they stopped the merging of the planets or the fucking realms or whatever. Like, because
Barely an inconvenience.
The moment, the moment 11 shows up and breaks the spell, they just stop, just right at the edge of the TV tower or the radio mast, so that they can climb up through the cracks. It would have made much more sense dramatically if that process continued. And like it was only when they defeated Vecna that it would stop. And so you're getting closer and closer to these planets, these 2 worlds merging together and like basically destroying all human life. So everything's on the line, and it comes down to that final battle. But as it stands, that just becomes a complete non-entity as soon as they interrupt the spell. Didn't need to be like that. Could have built up the tension more.
Could have been a momentum thing, right? Because if things are moving towards it, it's like even if the pushing force stops, guess what? The motion is still going to be bringing it further along, which would have absolutely brought about exactly what you just said.
Did the military even know about the monster?
The military were retarded.
No, they didn't know.
Did they know anything?
I don't think they knew about
Vecna.
I don't think this group of military knew about the actual threat. Brenner obviously did to some level
And
understand because it's what his father had been like, researching all this stuff. But
And the military didn't bother to go to the Hawkins building and go through it and find Brenner's book. But
What was
Dustin did.
weird though is they know that there's something on the other side, some kind of creature, because they know about the Demogorgons, and Linda Hamilton was studying like her own tentacle creature. Like, so they know something's going on.
No, they've seen Vecna at the end of Volume 2.
The scene
Yeah.
where they were like, the kids left their homework out. They saw the whole plan. So at that moment, they should have known, oh, they're talking about a monster, or did they think they were just full of shit?
Well,
that's actually true. Go ahead, Chad.
In the episode, they get the plan. They get to the radio tower, and she's reading the thing, and then you don't see him again. And that would have been perfect justification for them to realize, oh, the kids are actually on the right track. They're trying to fight a monster. Maybe we should back them up. And in that moment where they're trying to fight the kaiju, what should have happened is that they're not putting a dint into this thing. And then suddenly the military show up because they now know the plan, and the military offloads some heavy firepower into the thing.
And that allows, and they try to trap the kids. They like, kids, get out of here. We're taking over right now. And then they do the damage, right? You're just saying right now. And then the kids escape and can get in there, because the military's going to, the kids will go, there's kids inside that kaiju, and the military's all, we don't care. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, son. And they're willing to sacrifice the kids to save the planet. But instead, we have petrol water balloons that are like
sticks.
napalm.
The sticks were still the worst thing to me. Running underneath it and poking it.
And they did it. and they didn't need to go like this big with it. Mahler talked about it on Open Bar yesterday because one of Mahler's favorite things when somebody's talking about a show, Shad, is when you turn off your brain. That's one of his favorite statements. But Vecna can get into anybody's head and fuck with them. And there's a really good scene where he tricks Hopper into thinking he shot 11.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was good.
We need all of that. That should be your final scene. He gets in every kid's head, and they have to kind of work their way around it. And while the battle's going on, that would have been far more interesting.
Because then you could have also put an actual death in. Like if you have all these different moments where people think that someone's dying or something's happening, and then all of a sudden one of them, it turns out to actually be real. Like they actually did shoot them. They actually did, hurt this person. That would actually be interesting, but they didn't because they didn't want to kill any of the darlings, as I said.
Yeah, then you get into Max and Spears, and it's her pregnant with a black eye. It's like, I see my future.
I see my future with Lucas. I'm going to be
I
a
gotta
single
go out and
mom.
get some milk, babe. I'll be back.
Will's just in the gay bar going, this is awesome.
Isn't that funny as well? Like, 'cause we never talked about this in Open Bar, right? When you get the epilogues for each of the characters, they go off to various careers, like have very fulfilling lives, becoming authors or researchers or journalists or filmmakers, whatever. And then Will's one, it's just he hangs around in a gay bar.
He's like, and what happens to Will the Wise? He goes to a village and he spends the rest of his life getting dicked down.
Way to boil a complex human being down to nothing more than their sexuality. Like
I feel like I've seen a lot of edits of Jeffrey Dahmer showing up there in that gay bar. Overall, the epilogue as a whole, kind of wrapping up everybody's, kind of giving everybody their little moment, especially the D&D sequence at the end. When they're putting up their books for the last time. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
that was a far more interesting ending for him.
Yeah, you just want to take. Yeah, you like photography?
Yeah.
I really dig your vibe.
Bro, it's so wild though. Like, and they went like totally stereotypical with the dude with like the leather hat and the assless chaps in the very first shot. And I was like, dude, just a gay bar? That's his whole life now?
Yes.
Like, isn't that exciting for you?
That's his whole character now. That's all he'll ever be. Because once you turn a character gay, or once a character is outed as gay, that's their full-on personality forever and ever. Amen. Ad hominem. He'll never change.
He's in a gay bar in the 80s.
In the 80s,
he won't have a forever. But yeah,
chances are not good.
And like Robin had fucking AIDS in this fucking series.
Will the Wise goes to a city. He goes to a bar, and 3 years later, Will the Wise.
They call it a village. I'm like, he went to the village.
He gets the results of a very important blood test.
He can star in Philadelphia.
What did you guys think? So you saw this in a theater, right, Gary?
No, I after I watched the season, I'm like, I'm gonna watch this from the comfort of my home. I had tickets though. I did have.
I would have been really interested because it did insanely well. I mean, $25 million.
Yeah,
in like 600 theaters in one day or whatever.
Wow,
it was crazy.
Nobody's questioning the show's popularity.
What I was asking, what I was going to ask was like, what was the reaction like in there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I after the fucking coming out scene, I'm like, I'm not going to a fucking theater to watch this goddamn thing. I'm gonna make a video and watch it at home. So that's what I did.
Overall, I think the general consensus is going to be that it was an okay way to wrap up the show. Like I think that's the general consensus that's going to be out there for for most people, that after 10 years of this, and people are going to have criticism, it's way too bloated. Did we really need this massive monster fight? I think overall, especially with the kind of character wrap ups and everything at the end, I think most people are going to think it's an okay finale. They dropped the ball a little bit, but we've certainly seen a lot worse finales. We've seen better finales. I think this one was an okay way to wrap everything up.
I think that would be my
take on it. The way I described it, it was safe. It was safe. Mm-hmm. It was fairly predictable. Yeah. It gave a nice, happy ending for pretty much all the characters. Probably, like, arguably the best ending they could have hoped for. And yeah, it was just a nice, like, comforting way to wrap up a long-winded story like this. This is
think it's
10
like,
years this has been going on for, so
Wow.
like
it's gonna be like Endgame, I think, where people have like mostly positive things to say, and then you have a lot of other people that are kind of like us, where we're very critical, we're seeing all the issues, but over time, as people go back and like keep going on forward and say, okay, I'm gonna rewatch this show, they're gonna get to that ending and say, oh my gosh, this was the ending. Oh my, I didn't even remember it.
I think there was way less backlash towards Endgame initially than there was for some things in this.
Oh, for sure. Because I mean, it's seasonal, and so you have episodes that people can react to in that way. But I think overall, like especially with this finale, I think it's gonna be very similar, where people are gonna not look back on it as well.
It's not like Game of Thrones season 8. I heard
no, it is not.
It is not. Go back and watch that last episode. There's no dialogue in the goddamn
thank
thing.
you.
Do you think like it was in some ways like a victim of its own success, where like it became so big and so popular and so expensive that they couldn't risk doing anything like super controversial or daring from a narrative point of view?
I think a little bit, yeah. And the reality is, if they would try to have done something crazy to subvert everyone's expectations and shock them, there's probably a 90% chance we would be sitting here shitting on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is the safe route. And probably when you think about the fact that these started off as like 11-year-old kids, it is really about, now it's about high schoolers and stuff. I don't think that killing a bunch of motherfuckers off probably would have been the right thing. I think they could have done.
I wasn't looking for everybody to die. I was looking, I was following these characters, and I wanted them to win, and I wanted them to win with stakes, like they actually accomplished something instead of just mailing in an ending, which what this was. This was fucking phoned in as far as Vecna. And I wanted explanation for the Upside Down. I wanted I was fine with them shoehorning Vecna in at season 4. They needed to do that because they were going nowhere with the Mind Flayer. So putting a face on it was great. And they had plenty of time to explain certain things, because there's just too many dumb things I can't get over in this season that make no fucking sense, and wasting so much time stealing benzos to trick Derek's fan, like that was dumb. Like they didn't.
They're still in that farmhouse.
Yeah,
so.
Gary, you don't need any explanation for the Upside Down. Okay, it's perfectly simple. It's a meat tunnel wormhole powered by exotic matter. I mean, what more do you need?
And that's what I'm hearing some on Twitter. They explained it. They said it's antimatter or whatever the fuck it was, or exotic matter. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. That's totally sufficient for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go off and stare at my fucking laser pointer for an hour.
One question destroys that. What is it? It's like it's exotic matter. What is that though?
What exactly is exotic great matter? If they blew apart the Mind Flayer and inside it was Jeff Goldblum, just like with a controller, and he was like, it's me. That was
Wizard of Oz. That's what you wanted.
Controlling everything.
I'm glad that after fucking a month of yelling at people about how the Mind Flayer is the one that like controlled and like corrupted Vecna and like all these things, I'm glad finally we got that laid out.
Would you say laid out, or would they just, hey, this is what's happening, but if you want to know the rest, fly to New York or London to watch the play?
Well, what I mean by that is, they obviously delineated that, yes, indeed, as a child, Henry accessed this stuff and Henry got corrupted, and that's what happened to him as a kid. What I was so scared of them doing, which was Will being like, we're the same. We both this happened to us as kids, and like Henry then fights the Mind Flayer. Vecna fights the Mind Flayer with them. I would have despised that with every fiber of my being, and I was worried that was going to happen the entire season, really. So I'm thankful that instead he's like, no, we're together in this. Like, I embrace it. Fuck the world. I did like that. He was like that, as opposed to some fucking villain who turns the last second and helps them defeat the Mind.
It's bang on trend these days with modern writing, isn't it? Where the villain has to actually be sympathetic, and like they're not really bad, they're just misunderstood, or they got abused at a young age, and that's why they are who they are. It's like, no, this guy was just going to say, no, I embrace the Mind Flayer and I agree with what it wants to do.
Yeah, because like you have Will and Vecna who went through, and he even says they went through similar things, right? Henry embraced that fucking evil and Will resisted it. Now, he didn't resist dicks in the ass, which is maybe a far greater evil than the Mind Flayer, if we're being honest. But like you do have that dichotomy. It's a choice, you know what I mean? And Henry chose to embrace that evil.
Yeah, I definitely like that part too, because I was worried when I watched it. I was like, "Oh no, here we go." He's like, "We're alike," and he's like, "We're not alike, dude. I like being a bad guy. This is
I like
awesome."
pussy.
We're not so different. You and
I like women, and he's like, "Oh no, that's
I like girls." Will
even though the actor for Vecna, in theory, is straight, he seems way fucking gayer than Noah Schnapp. Actually,
he does. Well,
it's like he's like being interviewed, like, yeah, well, doing Vecna, like, whoa, there, buddy. Oh,
It makes it more impressive of him as actor to do that, like to be able to switch like that.
He's gave a great performance.
Will Smith.
He's a good actor, and unfortunately, he's a good actor. Unfortunately, he's about to go into Rings of Power.
God, he's gay.
I forgot that was a thing.
He's gay.
Yeah. No, you know who we haven't talked about is
whose
11.
Ring of Power is he going to go into, though?
Oh, it's funny because the show seemed to forget about her too. So
yeah, we haven't talked about 11. Whose journey was just
bottom.
How did you guys feel about her like faking out the death thing?
I
Was
did.
anybody
It
really
doesn't make
surprised?
fucking sense.
The thing is, I don't know if she did. I think she's dead.
I think she's dead too.
I
the
think
whole
she-
point.
made that up.
The whole
It's
point.
right on trend with the Duffer Brothers that they wouldn't kill her off. Like, I don't think they could bring themselves to do it narratively.
Yeah, narrative. I think she's alive. I think she's alive, and that stupid story at the end is actually what happened, which makes it even funnier that they just left 8 who was still alive to fucking rot.
You're not important enough.
I mean,
Well, they
do
didn't
make a
just
point.
leave. They didn't just leave her there. They killed her because the C4 would have blown up that building with her in it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
but that's the thing. They've set up the story where both things can't exist. It's impossible. So the power dampening field was on her, so 11 couldn't have done it. 8 would have been dead to the C4. So both stories are wrong.
Yeah, she could not have. She could have shielded her while she was like the spell of invisibility, and she could have got down in the bunker and stuff like that. But once the flash happens for the 10, who knows how long it is in real time, but say the 10 seconds that we see, like she could not have projected that image of 11. I think that this is Mike's way of fucking coming up with this. And Mike seeing those fucking projectors turning and things like that. These are things that like he's created in his head to deal with it. And this is his story that he's telling to deal with the fucking fallout from it.
It follows up with
his
speech with Hopper about acceptance.
Well,
Not really acceptance, making up a story to make yourself okay with it, but I mean, whatever works.
And
It was meant to be debated. That's the only thing. They're never going to answer it. It was meant to be
I'm
debated.
actually kind of surprised
think
that Hopper
it's-
got over it surprisingly easily.
Well,
Like
He's dealt with loss before. So.
to spell it out though, because 11 is standing there while the Upside Down is all going to hell, which is specifically after the explosion over the hospital, which would have killed what's her name to project
Callie.
So the only way to make sense of what they're showing on screen is that 11 died. That's the only way to reconcile everything together.
The thing is, they zoom in on her face, and she doesn't get blown away. She just pops out of existence all of a sudden. So it does seem like they deliberately put both stories in there. So they zoomed in, they see her finger wobbling, and if the wind had blown her away or she got hit by something, you would have seen it, but instead she just vanishes.
Okay.
I think y'all putting more
think
thought
the
into this than they
implication
did.
is that the debris field got so much that it shielded her from view. But you can make the argument that as soon as that happened, she vanished. Like that's what it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be ambiguous. And I think that Will's not ambiguous anymore. He's just straight up gay. I think she's dead. That's what I think.
I mean, I really don't care by the end of the season, which I should, but I don't. And I, as somebody said on Twitter, in 7 years, when her career's not going so well, we'll get a 11 series on Netflix.
What do you mean? What do you mean in 7 years? Like I would give her about 6 months.
Maybe,
She's not going to do
But her
anything
face
else?
is so riddled with Botox that she can't make any emotion. It was just like, how can you feel any emotion for somebody that can't convey any with their fucking face, which is now just
She did it as a disguise so the military won't recognize her.
Yeah, she's stoic.
That was
there's
one
an
of my
interview-
things. Like the first in volume 1, like for the season, when you're talking about like being critical of the whole thing, in season 1 or in volume 1, you have like very clearly Elle is staying out of sight, period. Like completely and totally. And it feels like, and maybe it's just because of the, you know, the nature of the rapidness of how many things I got to do, but she's sitting there meditating in that field with Callie while Murray's fixing the car. And it's like, oh, weren't you supposed to stay out of fucking sight? Weren't you supposed to hide? And the military's not looking for them, maybe because they got other fucking things. They just got fucked up by Vecna, but I feel like they should have done a better job keeping her undercover more. In volume 2, the last one, it's the finale. They're all on the Upside Down, so it doesn't matter. But
the Upside Down, where they're opening up McDonald's now, that used to be dangerous, and you'd have to wear a suit and be connected to a wire cable and a spool, and then you get eaten by a Demogorgon who they completely disappeared. And
you know what my theory about
we talked about this last night, didn't we? Where it's like there's a one sentence throwaway line about like, hey, these spores that we're breathing in, are they dangerous? And I think it's like,
we don't know.
Yeah, she just goes unclear.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm convinced.
The Duffer Brothers came out and explained the Demogorgons. Did you see that?
Yeah, Vecna didn't think that they were actually going to attack him up there in Dimension X, and so he didn't have the Demogorgons prepared or ready to go. So they're all just chilling in the Upside Down somewhere, I guess.
But that's where they're from.
So stupid.
They're from the Abyss, so there should be like essentially an unlimited supply of them. They've invaded the Upside Down, but that's not where they exist originally.
It's not where they're from, right?
Yeah, they're from the Abyss, like. So he should have as many as he needs there, unless like he moved the entire population into the Upside Down. But then how can people travel through the Upside Down so easily without encountering any? Because it's not a big area, as we've discovered. Like it's
Nancy
basically
killed
the size
them
of
all.
Hawkins.
This is why they needed more explanation. Because if they said things like
they're afraid of Nancy.
They're afraid of Nancy.
If they'd said something like Vecna is invading other realities at the same time and he's split on different fronts fighting multiple battles, you could come up with excuses of, well, he had his attention drawn over here and things. But the lack of explanation makes a lot of it seem stupid because this is all we know about our narrow frame of view, and it's from the perspective of kids that you can't really expect to know it all anyway. And a lot of it is just guessing from their D&D game. And so there are reasons, but their excuse is they were somewhere else.
Well,
so
what's
it doesn't
annoying?
seem like they put any thought into it.
Instead of ignoring him, they could have served like another, purpose to raise the stakes and make it more dynamic. Like, imagine if they go to, the Abyss, right? And there's an army of demigorgons, and it's like, okay, now we're screwed. And guess what?
Screwed.
That's a perfect use for where the military comes in. Military comes in and decides to sacrifice themselves to hold off this army.
You know what would be great, Shad?
While the kids deal with the mindfall.
Yeah, but we already know the military can't do shit about the Demogorgons. So.
You know what would be great is if it was just Nancy facing that entire army of demigorgons and she's injured, and then suddenly a radio broadcast says on your left, and then
Eddie steps out with a guitar and he's like,
I thought you were going to go
Barb,
Rambo 3 with the high D.
Barb's got a 50 cal on a fucking tank or whatever.
I will say the Steve fake out death. Even though I'm sitting there, I see the screen go black, and I'm like, "There's no fucking way it happened." They didn't. Like somebody grabbed him. Despite all of that, I thought the fucking scene was great as they panned up and showed Jonathan grabbed him.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking great.
Jonathan, who's gayer than Will, by the way. Just want to point that out. I was completely confirmed of hating this fucking character by his end when we find out he just becomes a commie filmmaker at NYU.
He's got another eye bag under his eyes.
Yeah, he's looked 40 since season 1.
Yeah, well,
donor,
that tracks.
He looks like more of a serial killer than Henry does. I don't know what it is. Like the actor's just got this creepy vibe about him.
He's writing a book about a serial killer.
He's dating Nancy in real life. It's not like she's cooking him any meals.
But again, it's another company. What, 480 million for the season? The show's hidden behind well, it's not hidden, but you know what I mean. It's behind a paywall to actually see it, and their message is anti-capitalism. Shut up, you stupid tart.
Did you like
Dustin make fun of him for it?
Did you like Dustin's graduation?
Steve has the most based ending. He's like, I'm going to stay in this small town and have 6 kids. It's like, yes. That's why we like Steve.
I love Dustin's speech because one, he goes on this big self-righteous speech about how we all need to accept each other and learn about differences and stuff. But also he says, fuck the system, and then immediately goes off to college.
Yeah.
Learns within the system.
But he did exactly what Eddie said he wanted to do. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to snatch that diploma from the principal. I'm going to flip him the bird and I'm going to walk away. Like, Dustin did exactly what Eddie wanted to do.
And they all set to the trooper too, which was fucking awesome.
That was good.
That was very good.
There was the scene between Hopper and Michael sitting on the bench was good. That was. Like, and David Harbour, like when he was in it, was very good. Like he was, this is his best acting. It just, he wasn't in it enough. He had nothing to do at all.
He was just standing around, like waiting to set off the bomb for most of the final episode.
I think both, like the interaction that he has, really all three, right? The one where where she's about to go in the bath after Vecna tricks him, and the interaction he has about like, no, you got to fight, you can't give up, blah blah blah. I thought that was great.
That was really
good.
And
then I really did think that Eleven's talk to him when she's about to go off and face the mind
hated
flayer.
that.
You didn't? You hated it?
It's like, hey, let's recap the entire series right before I'm going to jump off to another planet as the world ending. It's like, no. You could have done that in a lot shorter time. But doing all the flashbacks were driving me nuts.
Montage.
It's a montage.
You mean like when Vecna's dying, or
no? Like you're talking about the flashback to his daughter when she's dying in the hospital.
Yeah,
because they have used that about the whole 5 times this season.
They overcooked so many flashbacks, and it's like, okay, we get it. I'm guessing most people watched the season, but you didn't need to watch the season to watch this finale. Honestly, it's so out of place. Platoon had a perfect description of it. Is like, man, if they had a better season leading up to this finale, it would have probably meant more.
It's not earned. It's just not earned. It's the best ending you could ever ask for, but everything before it is kind of trash. You're just like, you didn't really earn this ending. That would have been the ending we kind of maybe would have hoped for, but everything around it is such a mess. And now the fact that they're running interference for it and being like, well, the Demogorgons, they were somewhere else hanging out, they just
I think
creators need to stop doing interviews after their shows release, to be honest.
They really do. But Ryan, in theory, like, I'm not against a scene like that, but it's the timing of it. I'm not against a Will coming out scene. They've been fucking setting it up entire series. Please do it, but not at the end of the penultimate episode when all hell's supposed to be breaking loose. We have Elle about to jump, which they don't show, jump on those giant pieces of rock to a planet, which, and I guess physics just don't work in the things like gravity. With a giant planet being right next to something else, it would just all be sucked up to the planet. So I don't know how that doesn't work, but fine, whatever. She's supposed to jump on the rocks, and she's like, hang on a second. I know kids are trapped in a kaiju, but I just want to tell you my whole journey. Instead of saying, I love you, Dad. I'm not in theory against that scene put somewhere else. So that's they kept on doing that. Like, as right before the planet's starting to ascend, and we know like the clock is ticking. Michael sits next to Will and goes, "I'm really sorry, I didn't realize you were gay." It's like,
He should have been a better best friend for my clearly gay best friend.
Do you know why I like that scene? I don't really like the timing of it or anything.
Yeah,
I think that scene's incredibly fucking important. Because of all the fucking shippers out there who, even after this
100%.
entire coming out scene, they were fucking convinced that Mike and Will were still gonna butt fuck, that they're still supposed to be together. Byler for life. So I'm so glad that scene exists, so that all those motherfuckers can go out and end themselves.
And you
like,
could
I
have done
really
that.
hope that that's
in the coming out.
The Duffers were
scene,
asked about them, and the Duffers said, "We ignore a lot of that noise."
But they don't ignore other noise, right? So
so
the
you ignore enough to spend 24 hours filming a single fucking monologue about a kid that likes dicks.
That was 100% because of the noise, because this show was heavily criticized in the first couple of seasons for its lack of LGBTQ plus representation, and I think they fucking fell for it. But no, you have Will coming out earlier in the season. It's an intimate scene, him and his mom and Michael or something like that, and then Michael can give him that speech right there and then, and like it's done.
Realistically, I do think it should have just been him and Joyce and Mike, or just the crew, right?
Jonathan knew, like, to his credit, like Jonathan's the one person who knew the whole time. So
he's like, well, I've seen your drawings.
Season 2,
I know. I've seen all the
girls.
drawings of dicks you've done in your.
Lonnie. Let's not forget Lonnie. Lonnie knew from the beginning. Shout out to Lonnie. We haven't seen him.
The thing is, I think they built up the whole thing with Will pretty well. Like the scenes where he's like feeling isolated from the rest of his friends. He obviously knows that he's different, but he can't express it, and like that feeling of being really like an outsider amongst people that you've known your whole life. I think that stuff is all handled really well, and all it needed was just a good quiet scene to cap that off, and not this big melodramatic nonsense, which is what we really got. As you guys said, a smaller scene with Mike and with his mom perhaps would have been enough to get that across, and it would have been way more impactful. I think, Robin's coming out scene with Steve in like season 3 was handled way better.
Yeah. With the reason they didn't do that,
it's still unnecessary in general, but if you're going to do it, that was done much better. Guess what? There wasn't a massive fucking backlash to Robin's coming out scene in season 3. We've had a coming out scene in Stranger Things. There was a big backlash to this one. And I mean, partially because maybe there's people who didn't even know, like people who are so fucking retarded who are just hopping on a bandwagon or whatever that didn't realize that Will's been gay the whole time. Maybe that was part of it too. Some people genuinely believe that Vecna turned him gay still.
With his tentacles.
But this is just coming down to like what you value most. A lot of people value like the kaiju, the story, like the explanations of things. But the Duffers have said Will is the center theme of this story, which is why this thing was so much. The center theme of this season is Will's gay. It's why it was the climax of part 1, part 2. They've said Will is the most important character at the end. He's the one that defeated Vecna, not 11. And it all comes down to his coming out scene is why he could defeat Vecna. I think it's an awful choice to do, but that's why they didn't just put it away in a separate scene, because they value Will's coming out more than anything else in the entire series.
Narratively, it's tricky in the wider context of the show, right? Because really, since season 1, they've not really known what to do with Will as a character. He's just been kind of in the background. He's this person who's been in the Upside Down, who's been exposed to Vecna, and who knows a little bit about it or is traumatized by it. But that's really as far as they could go with him. They didn't know where to take him beyond that. This is all they had with him. I mean, it was nice to see him do something finally.
Yeah. Him getting powers was good.
Yeah, but like tying it inextricably to him just accepting being gay is just like, it's an awkward,
it's fucking retarded.
It's self-acceptance.
And then like rolling it back to where his powers like don't really do a bunch when they should have just had powered up Will kicking some ass for a little while.
It could have just been fucking murking demogorgons at the end. You know what I mean?
That's his role. He could have been also the one that dealt with the demogorgons with an
exactly.
And protecting 11. So she's fighting Vecna and he's defending her from all these other things. Strangely, they did do in this what Fantastic Four didn't, to get them all to work together. But it's one of those things. The more intricate the scene of everyone defending each other, the better it comes across, rather than all on the outside.
I have a question. How many guns did Nancy have on her at the end? And
52.
Did she really
one more.
Like, here's a flare gun. I'm keeping all of these. It's like, are you retarded? No, give them all a freaking gun, you idiot. No.
Well, she's 92 pounds soaking wet, too.
Yeah.
I think as Ryan pointed out, like it all ties in ultimately to the D&D aspect of it, where they all have to have their own unique weapon, their own unique fighting style, and like so you can't have her giving guns to everyone, I guess. In a real world sense, it makes no sense, but like,
and that's why like I did love Lucas with the fucking slingshot at the end. You know what I mean? Because that's Lucas's thing. Is it the most realistic? Probably not.
No,
it's probably not the most realistic way to fight a fucking mind flayer or a demogorgon or anything. Yes.
Yeah, but it's scaling. It would have been cool in like a smaller space fighting demobats and demodogs, and he's throwing.
If they found some chemical that actually works that's acidic on them, and he figured it out and then uses a slingshot. Sure, we found some secret weapon in Brenner's book. There's like, oh, this dissolves them or something like that.
Yeah.
Jonathan's the one who lucked out. He got a fucking flamethrower.
You know,
yeah, out of fucking nowhere. He straight up pulled like a Leo at the end of
their weakness is Mountain Dew or something.
Run on top of the mountain. He's like, motherfucker!
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Mountain Dew and Doritos. You sling Mountain Dew and Doritos at the Demogorgon, they fall apart. You know, something like that.
That's how you attack Derek, I think. So.
Dude, I gotta. That Derek moment was pretty fucking funny, dude. He's like, Vecna, suck my fat one.
Yeah,
that was funny.
I like Derek. I did.
Well, until the end where he's like looking at Mike and he's like, I kind of want you to suck my fat one too, bro. Like, because
no, I think
no.
He looked up to him.
Yeah, he was. This is what I think. I think Derek wants to get with Holly. And so Derek sees Big Brother Mike is like, hey, Mike, because at the end he's sitting right next to Holly at the
I didn't take it that
at the graduation.
Oh, come on,
it was just him staring at.
You never
Mike
did
like
that in high school. You got friendly with the brother because he's, he's
no,
got a
I just
sister. No,
I just
biggest plot hole in Stranger Things season 5. How did Derek fit through that hole to go?
I said that, and my kid got upset, and I'm like, have you seen that kid? He's way bigger than everybody. Like.
Yeah, if Max could barely fit through, ain't no way fucking Derek's getting through.
Max is like, I'm too big.
This is the cave that Vecna can't go into. Now he can.
Him.
Yeah.
And freaking Joyce, like does nothing the entire. She's the highest paid actor in the series too, right? So
yes.
I don't think she's even acting. I think Winona Ryder's just being herself.
Wild, dude. I was like, she just. It's a
I
fucking
had no idea
act.
she's
like,
she's like Arya Stark. She just appears out.
Right.
It just like cuts to the kids, like different kids as the fucking mind flayer's dead, and then it just goes on to Joyce. I'm like, what? Where the fuck have you been?
That was cool.
Well, and she was outside with Will, and that's the thing. They say that the mind flayer died somewhere in the middle of that scene, off screen, and that's why Will and the mum were able to go into the room at that point.
It is kind of hilarious though that Vecna got impaled on that fucking spike, right? And then they're busy freeing all the kids, and it's this nice harmonious scene of everything's good, and then all you hear is. Did no one check that he was dead or what?
Well, the thing about that is this guy's been shot, he's been stabbed, he's been set on fire, all kinds of stuff. Nothing. So I'm assuming there's something special about that tooth in the Mind Flayer, which is his specific weakness. In which case, don't build your base surrounded by kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's probably the basic thing for evil people.
Also, you got to remember hive mind stuff, things like that. So what's hurting the Mind Flayer in these moments is also hurting Vecna. What's hurting Vecna is also hurting the Mind Flayer. All of that shit is happening as well. So he's the Mind Flayer is basically fucking dead. He's pretty fucked up because of that as well.
It's not hurting Will, even though it was hurting Will at some points in time.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: it hurts Will, but it feels like when he's tapping into it, it hurts him passively, but it feels like when Will's tapping into it, it doesn't, because Will fucking snaps all these fucking Demogorgon's bones and isn't writhing in pain, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I obviously maybe we could see a little more explanation on that, maybe, but that's what it feels like to me is happening when it comes to Will with the hive mind. But for Vecna, I like Joyce getting the last shot in. Joyce, who
last 8 shots, because
it was about fucking 12. It was like a Sir Nicholas Nimsy Porpington beheading, right?
Yeah. It was
the first time you're like, oh, that's cool, man. She's like, oh, and then you're like,
Az and I were talking on the stream afterwards. We're like, there would be a funny cut to going back to everybody else watching her doing these hacking for about 10 minutes, and they're starting to look at their watches, going, okay, Joyce, I'm gonna finish that for you.
She's getting out of breath.
I've got one more character to
That's so funny. It takes forever.
Boy alone.
If you've ever tried to cut down your own Christmas tree, you're like, oh, this will be fun. And then by the 10th hack, you're like, all right, somebody get the employee. This is too hard. That's what it reminded me
Clearly,
of.
you guys, that's because people don't know how to sharpen their axe. With a proper sharp thing, you can take down a tree in 2 swings. I'm telling you.
They give
you were going to say with a proper axe, you can get someone's head off in 2 lobs.
Man, I've chopped down trees with swords and the sharpness.
Joyce is like, I'm listening, Shad. I'm listening.
Yeah, so it's over, but it's not over, everybody, because the rock in the case that I thought would get a lot more explained, which first thing I thought of was Concentrated Evil from the end of Time Bandits. It's from the play, and they're going to explain it more. And this is from the Duffer Brothers in a future series.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's for a spinoff, but there will be no spinoff for Holly this is disappointing for Hopper and Montauk, which would be a show I would watch the shit out of.
Oh yeah,
they're 100% going to do a Nancy spinoff with like Jonathan.
Well, they're doing books.
Oh, yeah, like so everyone's sharing. Everyone's sharing this fucking Screen Rant article. They're like, a Nancy Wheeler spinoff is officially happening, and it's a fucking book. Like, shut the fuck up, you retards that are just screen capping fucking stupid things from like clickbait from Screen Rant. I wouldn't be surprised if we have either, like, we saw there could potentially be a new party at the end of this thing with the kids all around the table. I wouldn't be surprised if it went into the past more. Like, if you're going to explain that fucking rock.
Well, yeah, they're going to go. So the origins of the Upside Down come from the USS Eldridge. So that's the Philadelphia experiment and Montauk. And they could absolutely do something like that. And I think I would have loved to have seen a prologue from that. Just the Philadelphia experiment itself, which is, creepy and cool as hell. And that would have been far more interesting than a multiple minute coming out scene to me anyway. But yeah, so there'll be spinoffs. I don't know how they work though, as far as the Duffer Brothers. Are they just going to be EPs, or do they still have a deal with Netflix? Like, as long as they're producing Stranger Things stuff, they'll be involved, because they have signed a big fucking exclusive contract with Paramount.
Oh,
yeah, they're doing Paramount stuff. They're not going to be show running if something else happens. If that does come to fruition, they would just be like producers or whatever, but they wouldn't be show running. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There is an animated thing coming out like sometimes later this year that's like set between, I think, seasons 2 and 3. That's gonna like a nothing burger or whatever.
Well, Frank Darabont was directing a couple of episodes from the season. He's super difficult to work with, but if he went out and did a Montauk series with Hopper, that would be pretty fucking good. He probably wouldn't make it past the first season though, because he rubs everybody the wrong way. Walking Dead season 1. He did Walking Dead season 1.
The Philadelphia experiment stuff is, I think, what in universe Dr. Brenner's father was working on in World War II to try to essentially make either planes or ships like become invisible and disappear and be undetectable.
Like real lore, we'll just say.
Right. And that's, which is based on, just like, all this stuff is kind of based off secret government projects and things.
Yeah. MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, exactly. And in the play, when they're doing that, like when they're doing these experiments, that's when they open this portal basically to the abyss, to Dimension X, whatever you want to call it. And that's when they encounter the Mind Flayer and Demogorgon and shit like that for the first time. And Dr. Brenner's father gets infected and his blood gets changed and he becomes obsessed with trying to find his way back. And that's what this is all about. So during those projects in the late 50s, when they're doing those things out in the desert, running these experiments to try to access it again, is when they do have, pieces that they brought back. They have things like that they have. And Russians are trying to infiltrate. Russians hire somebody to infiltrate and steal a piece of it. I believe that's the guy that we see in the cave who's like trying to get away with that shit.
Yeah.
And that's who Henry finds as a young Boy Scout. And that's how he stumbles
in the desert of Nevada, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Area 51 shit. Yeah. Area 51 in 1959, Gary.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty tenuous link, though. It's like, oh, okay, you want to understand more about this random shit that we dropped into the final episode of our TV show? Well, you better go and watch the play. It's like, how many people are going to have the ability to do that?
That's some Disney shit right there. Like, it really is. Especially with like Star Wars. We'll explain it in a comic or a book or a guidebook.
Now, in terms of a potential spin-off series with Nancy, I could totally see them doing a supernatural style show where Nancy becomes this private eye, detective for weird, strange, interdimensional stuff, where she girl bosses and blows everything apart with Rambo-style guns.
Yeah.
So,
well, think about it, right? When you've got her, Robin, Steve, and Jonathan, right? You've got this mix of characters. They're like the sort of age where they can now be independent. Like they can go on investigations together and stuff. They're all going to have their little skill set that they bring. Yeah, it would be like a kind of shitty X-Files or something, like different monster every week or something. I could see it happening. I don't know if they will do a show like that, but the building blocks are easily there.
Yeah. I mean, the most impressive thing for me is that Netflix actually finished a show and had a conclusion.
It did get canceled.
That is such a rarity for a Netflix show to not just get past the season 2, but gain popularity as it goes on. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see that again.
Take note, Witcher.
I know. Ouch. No, that's why they're going after Warner Brothers, because listen, they can buy all the Eastern content they want. I started The Last Samurai Standing. Fucking great, by the way. That shit is so good.
The fight scenes, the actual sword play,
dude.
This is why I wasn't sure if you'd like them.
Critic, no, they do.
They come across like lightsaber battles more than sword fights to me. They're waving them around like they're weightless.
Some of the choreography is actually
but they just don't care.
Mixed in with the flashy stuff, but they do some really impressive work with speed ramping and to make it look and to actually kind of hide it in between. So some of the fight scenes are really fast and it's flashy, and then mixed in with some decent choreography, they sell it. They actually do a really good job with the sword play.
The camera work is great too. There's one where the actual fight in it isn't, but if you just pay attention to the camera work, it's all done in like one of the fake one take things. But to even just choreograph that the way they do in the one take thing is awesome.
Yeah, but this is why they're going after Warner Brothers, because they don't have the longevity of IP, and they don't know how to make. They're starting to make TV shows themselves, right? And they don't know how to do it. They just flat out. They're One Piece comes out in fucking March. That took 3 years. Everything's taken 2 or 3 years. Even Stranger Things, it was doing fine at first, Ryan. Like it got season 2 came out within a year of season 1.
About a year later.
And then it started dragging at the end.
So it was 2016, 2017, 2019. Then COVID.
And it all went wrong.
And then COVID happened. It was 2022. I think there was a writers and actors strike after that. So
we were
who knows
supposed
how
to
much
get movie length episodes, and every episode was pretty much an hour. So that was bullshit.
We had a couple.
But they said everyone
were just verging on an hour and a half or a little over an hour and a half, somewhere around there. That all was based on a leak as well, not necessarily you know what I mean, like a fucking rumor type of leak. Overall, I think that it was an okay ending to the show as a whole. I think it'd be remembered by most people as a pretty good ending, with kind of a lackluster season leading up to it. But it's certainly not up to par with the rest of the seasons. I do think it might be closer to like the season 2 and 3 than we're talking about it. I feel like the way we've talked about it in totality is that this is one of the worst things we've ever seen. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's anywhere close to Game of Thrones season 8 level.
It's not.
No. I think anyone that's saying that, it's the same type of people who try to tell you season 2 of House of the Dragon was season 8 Game of Thrones level. That's just what people say whenever they don't like something immediately.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in Game of Thrones season 8 I can take out and go, well, that scene was pretty good. I can't do that. But if we have any doubt,
know that, look, we've seen Netflix have shows that end better than this. Cobra Kai ended, I thought Cobra Kai ended in an almost perfect way. With all things considered, maybe not the season in totality, but the ending.
No,
it's not that
landing.
Good, certainly,
they didn't start that show. They bought
that's true, show. But I mean, they ran it for
YouTube.
They ran it for
5 years or whatever.
Actually, YouTube fucking started. And if you saw all the other shows they did outside of Cobra Kai, they were all shit. Yeah. They were terrible. Tom Felton was in one. I don't know if you remember that, Ryan. There was a Tom Felton sci-fi show that they tried.
He was in a season of The Flash, dude.
Yeah. He was in Fackham
I actually liked him in The Flash.
He was in Fackham Hall. That's right.
But
I liked him. Hall was really disappointing.
I like Fackham Hall.
Yeah, I
love jokes were in the trailer.
My wife loved it because I think of the way it kind of mocked that style of film, because she's really into British stuff. Exactly.
Yeah. But,
Downton Abbey is great. I'm just saying.
It's like Downton Abbey meets. Look at it. Look, it's a
I thought that was Millie Bobby Brown.
It's Schaefer.
So
It's
this is what Ryan was talking about earlier, and he's got a girlfriend, by the way, right?
No, he hasn't.
does. He's dating from like a YouTuber or something.
Yeah, but he also
Is he cosplaying as his girlfriend here?
This is Jamie Campbell Bower about to go into Rings of Power.
Vecna thought Will's secret was his weakness.
But it's his superpower. Wow, one of the best queer characters we've ever had. What a powerful message to send to kids. Like, no, this isn't your weakness. This is your
kids.
What a powerful
He really embraced that character, didn't he?
Yeah,
embraced it in the
power. This is how you defeat the big bad evil monster of the whole show, is accepting what you thought was your weakness.
Being who you are is where our power comes from. It's really powerful, and I'm very moved and touched by that. Even though I played
You got a girlfriend? Yo, bro.
Wow.
Did you hear how he talks?
He's just British. That's all it is.
He's just British.
He's gay.
Unironically,
British or gay? Let's go.
Unironically, he is gayer than Noah.
Both is my answer.
Like hardcore.
Like
totally. Something how you
Oh
are.
my god.
There's lovey and then there's lovey.
I mean, he's talking about accepting. I think it's really important you accept you're gay, whereas he's out here like this, wearing dresses and shit, but is apparently straight. I don't even think he's bi or anything. I think he's just straight. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Philip Schofield was married for 20 years.
Yeah. He only does it anal.
What's that Kyle Dunnigan's sketch where he's the gay guy, but he's like,
Caddy Dad.
I like crushing pussy.
It's just fucking hilarious.
And he keeps getting the glasses. Just keeps
Yeah,
going.
he keeps like.
Yeah, he was fucking Grindelwald. He was young Grindelwald, who also is gay, by the way. But he was young Grindelwald in Harry Potter, Gary.
Yes,
you're not helping his cause, Ryan.
He dated Lily Collins. He also dated the Ginny Weasley actor too.
Yeah, that Bonnie Wright. That's probably.
He's definitely
they met
gay.
because of Harry Potter. So
Yeah.
either that or because they're British. I don't fucking know how that works, but yeah.
It's wild.
Maybe this is why he really likes the coming out scene. It's like one day, I find
One
it really
day it'll
inspiring.
inspire me.
He just keeps watching it over and over again. She's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, this is a really good scene.
I just think I should accept myself.
I want to put him and Will Smith in a room and see what happens. It's like putting a buttered piece of bread on the top of a cat. It's just gonna start spinning. Yeah, Caddy.
No, for a gay guy's place, it should have been decorated a little better.
Yes. Oh, that's Kyle Dunnigan. We love it. So Stranger Things, it's over.
Finally.
It's
Bye.
over. Bye.
10 years of work.
Did you see what the Nielsen ratings were for Volume 1 that came out, Gary?
No, they're probably ridiculous.
Okay, 8.5 billion minutes watched.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. And that's what I think. What the first 3 or 4 days, basically. It's
So is it going to beat Squid Game?
Ironheart? Oh.
Will it beat Squid Game? I don't know. In terms of minutes watched, probably. In terms of actual views, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because obviously so much is going to be determined on runtime when you have people watching previous seasons and shit like that. You know what I mean? Will it become the most viewed? I don't think it will. I think Squid Game will probably have the edge.
Just internationally. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly.
Nielsen's take account for
Are we ever going to get a cultural event like this in TV again?
That's
though?
a good question.
Probably not.
Az brought up a great point a couple weeks ago when we talked about this, and he said the Harry Potter series, and that it depends if you count that, because that's obviously something that's been made already. We've already seen movies, we have books and stuff like that. Even with Black Snape, I think it's going to be watched by a fuck ton of people.
A lot of people.
A fuck ton of people. But I don't know. I don't know. For something to go on for 10 years and be relevant for 10 years and be this big for 10 years, I'm not sure.
Yes, I think Harry Potter probably has the closest chance. But we'll see if they can see it through, because the plans are for the Harry Potter show is to get it out like every season, like every year, which I do not think they're going to be able to do.
They're going to have to, though, because the kids are going to grow up so fucking quickly.
They got to
Like,
film
you
it
can't
all
have another
back to back to
Stranger
back,
Things
basically.
situation.
Yeah.
But it's still good to have that as an aim, because at least if you set that as a target and you miss it by a month or two, you're still a lot faster than 3 years.
Every 18 months, I think, is like every year and a half. I think that's doable. When they start getting into 2 years, you're going to have problems.
The thing is, they need to do these first 3-ish seasons a year apart, because it's going to take longer for Goblet and Order. Once you get to the last half of the series, it's going to take longer to make these seasons, because you can't do it in 8 episodes. It's going to have to be 10, maybe 12. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And budgets are going to go up.
And kids are going to grow.
And kids are going to grow up. And John, I hope John Lithgow lives forever, but he ain't young.
Hmm.
No, he's looking in great fettle, though, in all fairness.
Yeah.
When did the latest Knives Out come out? Does anyone know?
That was October,
What date
wasn't it?
came out? Was
Just
it
now,
October?
a couple months ago.
Okay.
Not long ago. Why?
No, I was because I just looking at the UK top 10, and it's just nowhere near. So
no one talks about this one.
No.
Like, I feel the first one got a fair amount of attention. Glass Onion, not quite so much. And this one just seemed to drop right off the map.
Has anyone watched it?
No.
I have.
Yeah, Muller and I had to watch it.
Oh, did Muller make you watch it?
I can't remember who made who. It was just a mutual
who made who
abuse.
A
There.
mutual disdain.
Yeah.
I just think if
time
you spend that much money on a mystery movie, at least make it better than Murder, She Wrote. And the mysteries and stuff in it are just not. They're just not that
dog
complex.
shit.
Or
Like Ryan
I
Johnson.
hope you're not fucking.
Ryan Johnson cheats all the time with these kinds of movies. He constantly reframes scenes. He hides stuff that people should see. It's bullshit. And
you're
that's
just
the only way
media illiterate. Okay.
Of course.
It's just
Murder,
weird to
She
me
Wrote's
how
good
he's
hits, by
managed
the
to
way. I
get
love
3 of
that
these
show.
movies off. And
I've seen all of it, but a $200 million movie should make a more complex mystery than an episode of
his sequel to his movie. The whole plot is it's just really dumb. It was just the most obvious, worst possible thing that happened, and it just.
And then the cope is it's supposed to be dumb, Mike.
It's supposed to be retarded.
Yeah, it tries to play off bad plot as comedy. It's really strange.
No,
Yeah.
because
the thing is,
even
the characters should be dumb, but the plot
I
shouldn't
intentionally
be.
wrote this badly, guys, because I'm a great writer, right? That's how that
Clue, where
works.
the people are meant to be, a little bit tapped, shall we say? That is a very smartly written film. Very smartly written. So you can't just write it like a retard and go with a meant to be retard. You got to be smart with the writing to carry that stuff off. And I don't rate Ryan fucking Johnson in the slightest. He's done nothing.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of political messaging in it, and it just hits you like a hammer in the face. It's not subtle at all. The only thing I did like is they do like a bit of an arc between what is religion for, and he starts off hating it, and then by the end he's like, this actually serves a purpose, even though they don't convince him to be religious and stuff. So there was a little debate of that in the movie, which I thought was done well, but the actual mystery itself, no.
Yeah, with the political messaging, there always has to be shades of modern internet speak that I think Ryan Johnson is vaguely aware of in his boomer sort of way. So you're going to have libtards getting mentioned and Marxist feminist whores that they refer to in this movie. There's all this crap in there.
There was a supposedly MAGA author that was actually grifting because he hated his own audience as they're all male survivalists. And the entire thing was that he couldn't stand the people that were making him a living.
That sounds a little
wild.
Yeah. Did they lean into his relationship with Hugh Grant?
No.
Because didn't they lean into that in the second one?
Yeah, that's never even mentioned in this one.
Oh, okay.
There you go. I'm going to read a couple soups, then we're going to go on to a very exciting Doomsday trailer. No, not the X-Men one. It's not out.
I am so pumped.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for $49.99. I know everyone has Will Byers remorse.
Pretty good.
But
Good.
just be glad Stranger Things wasn't written by Stephen King. Otherwise, Will coming out to everyone before the finale battle would have been him coming into everyone afterwards. Happy Jessica. Happy Jessica. And Dr. Spike says Happy New Year for 50. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year, Dr. Spike.
It's the 9th day of Christmas.
Frank Casamento says, just paying my epic
Thickness.
tax.
Wait, what?
Thickums tax. Hail
about
FNT
Mike?
and Happy New Year.
I'm
I
not
guess
going to make it through
Are
2026.
you Thickum?
I'm not going to make it through this year.
I don't think you watched the right version of Stranger Things.
No. And empty-headed.
Thanks, Frank.
093 for 99.99. Happy New Year's, guys and gals. Now I know that for New Year's it's always New Year, new me things, but this year, why not bring something old back? Chrissy, can you get pregnant again so Perry can go back to shooting stuff out of it in the intro? I missed it. It was funny.
I mean, for $100, I kind of have to do it.
What a way to advocate for getting pregnant. I need more memes. Can you get pregnant again?
Frank, get to work.
Yeah, what's up, Frank?
That's commitment.
Better get on it, buddy.
And that way Ryan could guess before I'm ready to tell everybody. That was a fun moment.
Yeah. I very rarely feel bad about anything in my entire life. I felt a little bad that my big mouth and my fucking ego and my desire to be smarter than everybody else fucking revealed your pregnancy before you had told anyone. Yeah.
Well, it's my fault for like drinking so much that when I suddenly stopped drinking, everyone's like, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You should have lied better. I will put some of that on you. Because
I'm an alcoholic.
So this is for everyone that doesn't know. This is what happened. We're in the show. We're here before the show starts, and Chrissy gets there, and I think Gary was talking about when the Vegas meetup was going to be, and this is in like October or something like that. And he goes, "Hey, can you make it, Chrissy?" And you can see her like she's thinking in her head, and I'm like, "Is she doing math? Like, what the fuck?" She's like really concentrated. She must be doing math to add up when the Vegas meetup is. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, it's like 6 months away. Huh? I wonder. And so I said, "Hey, Chrissy, you want to take a shot with me before the show?" And she's like, I'll do a shot of water with you. And I said, "You're fucking pregnant, aren't you?"
She's like,
and I should have just drank. I should.
gotta hide it. Just
like, oh, sorry, kiddo. I can't let the cat out of the bag. You're gonna be a little.
Don't want to reveal I'm pregnant. Just drink.
Next time, Chrissy, just use black tea and pretend it's whiskey.
Smart.
Yeah. That's thinking.
Or I could say, "Oh, it's vodka."
Or just go water and vodka. That's a lot easier, dude.
Hey, so we got another exciting trailer that they finally released online for Doomsday. The countdown is on, everybody. And it is a lot more. Hey, remember,
white people?
Remember exactly. Remember white people? Remember phase 4 and 5? Please don't remember those.
You guys remember white
Even though they were bringing the characters back.
Even though we're bringing all the characters back.
Sorry, got to your BLE.
Father, all my life, I have answered every call. To honor, duty, to war.
Fortnite.
But now fate
Serious Thor
has given me something I never sought. A child.
Somebody else's.
A life untouched by the storm. Lend me the strength of the old fathers, so that I may fight once more, defeat one more enemy.
What about the All Mothers?
Return home to her.
Misogynist.
Are they actually going to give us a serious Thor who's not fucking joke?
Yeah, I know.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I think so.
He said he was too comedy before and made it too unserious. And he had too. I think he said he had too much fun just improving, and the movie got away from him.
I'm kind of glad they're bringing back.
Not away from
serious Thor.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thor will return.
Maybe.
In Avengers Doomsday.
The thing is, right, I'm still
Yeah.
dubious about trailers like this because the Age of Ultron trailer made Ultron look fucking terrifying and it was awesome.
Yep.
And then they turned him into a goofy joke in the movie.
Crap.
I hope that
He's
you
still
know,
hot.
hope that's not the case here. Because I could do with some
Ultron?
serious Thor.
Ultron is still hot? What, Chris?
He is a machine.
Because we were just
that robot ass.
Might have a vibrate function.
Is your entire body
Guys,
made
say
out of
Chris's new
vibranium?
vibrator.
Yeah.
It was so bad, my internet died.
Oh, it's okay. You didn't miss much. It was him praying to the All Fathers. I'm surprised they even said fathers in a Marvel production these days. But yeah,
Are you noticing
the danger of that is,
of present
are you going to
white
pass it under
fathers
the?
in the first two trailers? Like, kind of wondering.
That's
if
what
maybe-
it's all about. Look, we ended it with Franklin Richards getting stolen.
Yep.
We get Chris Evans as a father now coming back as Steve Rogers. We get Thor talking about his child. Like that is
this plan is very Jewish.
I don't know, man. It's like
Gonna
when you
be
get
very
army
expensive.
recruitment ads and they start showing white people again in them. It's like, oh shit, we're actually going to war now. This is getting serious.
That was the best indicator right there. Yeah. No, it's the one concern I have is the way he's talking. Kind of sounds like he's lost his powers. Like the way he's kind of like begging and pleading sounds like he's lost his powers, and I'm worried that they're going to try to make him like have to go through being worthy again. I feel like there's
because
other
there's a big comic book arc with
Yes.
that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like Thor the Unworthy or something.
Yeah, the unworthy Thor.
And it led to something horrible. So
Yes, it did.
Oh God.
I mean, we've already had the Jane Foster Thor arc at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bringing that shit back.
No, she's in Valhalla.
I just want All Father Thor. That would be rad.
That would be rad. But you know what? Or the God Butcher could have been rad too.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, we've heard from like guys like Chris Gore who've, the inside sort of opinion within Marvel seems to be they tried all this crap with phases 4 and 5. They tried all the MCU stuff. They've tried all the diversity hires and everything, and none of it worked. And now they realize they have to get back to what made it successful.
Mm-hmm.
They're abandoning all of that. I don't know if that's true, but what they're showing us here seems to indicate that.
So yeah, this was 2 years ago at Comic-Con, because I was with Chris when he heard all this stuff, right? So and then we talked to somebody else like on the floor of the con who was about to work for Marvel, and they told us the same thing. And the quote I got, which I don't entirely believe, but the quote I got was Kevin Feige said, as far as diversity, he said his quote was, "We've done our bit for King and Country and we're moving away from it." But I don't think he can. It's impossible. The environment that they have created at Disney, the environment he has created at Marvel, and like Marvel's bad, but they clown internally Lucasfilm for being a complete and utter disaster. And like Marvel's not much better, but I at least they're trying something, but they're doing it's half quarter measures, right? They're not doing what needs to be done, which is Doctor Doom in the first 5 minutes of Doomsday kills everybody from phase 4 and 5 pretty much, and starts with Simu Liu.
Just the minority characters. Yes.
I think
John Walker lives.
You got to do some you got to do some proper gestures, which will never happen, by the way. But you got to do a proper gesture, like Sam Wilson hands the shield to Steve Rogers and says, "People need."
He's got his Falcon
America
back on.
Yeah, no, and then Steve Rogers says back to him, "And I need my Falcon." That's how you kind of do that. But of course, all the fucking spurgs who don't give a shit about any of this, all they give a shit about is engaging on social media about it, will have a big fucking hissy fit. They'll have no effect on the bottom line. They've never had an effect on the bottom line whatsoever. So listening to these people in itself is absolutely fucking beyond retarded. But the characters like Simu Liu and the Eternals, or if they're going to bring any of those in, I'm not even sure that they are. and characters like that, they just need to have like virtually zero screen time at all.
The problem is like what you suggested, that would be fucking awesome if it happened. The problem is I think they're going to do the exact opposite. I think they're going to be so tiptoeing around that stuff. I think that, Steve Rogers comes back, and instead of Falcon giving him back the shield, Steve Rogers is going to show up and be like, hey, just want y'all to understand, I'm not Captain America.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I'm just Steve Rogers, but I'm here to help.
Yeah,
like that's
I 100% agree that is what they are going to do. Because it didn't say Captain America will return; it says Steve Rogers will return.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So that in itself is the big statement, because it's saying he's here, he's coming back, but he's not going to steal the thunder of our diverse Captain America Black Falcon man that failed at the box office. Even though this guy had some great movies that were very successful at the box office. So no, I absolutely agree that he's gonna go there, and maybe somebody will make an offhanded comment like John the Shield Cap. And he'll go like, no, that's not mine. That belongs to Captain America, Sam. And, fucking starts tugging him off. And Will comes in and bums him from Stranger Things. And that's how
I wasn't expecting that.
And Shuri's like, it looks better with the black man anyway. Something like that.
But this is the problem. It's like, even if they want to change direction, the employees don't. And so they won't suddenly switch back like it's a binary choice. They will swing back slowly until they find what you will accept and then keep it there.
Yes.
So it'll be as little as possible.
Fire them all.
New production, you have the excuse.
It's a double issue, right? Because we have the fan base out there that'll get freaked out. We see those people, the people who are threatening to kill the Duffer Brothers right now. It's not like normal people that have a problem with the gay scene. It's the gays who are mad that Mike didn't fuck Will. Those are the people that are threatening death on the Duffer Brothers for Stranger Things. So those weirdos will be out there making noise. I think the bigger problem is just internally and all the people that are working at Marvel and Disney. And I think it would have been maybe impossible to purge all of those fucking people without a massive lawsuit on your hands. So the people you have to work against is the writer's room and the people that work there internally at Marvel. Even if they wanted to do a full about face, I don't think they feel like they can, which is retarded, because that's what you need to do if you want to save this shit.
Yeah. You go door to door. You're not gonna. What do you do here? You're fired. Get out.
Well, look what they did to Chapek when he dared to not want to weigh in on all the like lawsuit stuff going on with the Florida government, and like his own employees essentially forced him to do a hostage video where he apologized for the error of his ways. That's how much power these people have got within the company. They can force their own CEO to do what they want.
It's the also resource groups, and they need to eliminate that shit. That's why they have so much power.
There was an interview that he did later. I can't remember what it's called. The one with the blue background. And he basically said that he was held hostage by the people, because he started having to go. They asked him about the politics of it. And he's like, well, what we realized during that was our staff are the most important people. It's like, no, it isn't. It's your customers. Your staff are irrelevant. Yeah. You can replace your staff anytime you want. But it shows that there's such a high density of them, most of the company would go. And so they know they can't all switch out at the same time. But there are ways you do it. You switch out the writer's room at a time. You make something really offensive. And if people don't like it, well, if you don't want to work on it, fire it off. And you can do what Elon did. Elon sent a message out going, you're going to have to work a lot for the next couple of years. We really need you to commit to this specific message. And they all quit. I mean, lost loads of the people that
he trash took out itself. And there's absolutely ways to do it. And we both went down the rabbit hole of the Grand Tour and listening to Andy Willman, the producer, and I shared the video. It's a long video, but basically, they were approached by the BBC early on to replace James May, Jeremy Clarkson, or Richard Hammond, one of the three, with a diversity hire, and he basically told him to shut up, and he had the power to do it, but back to what Az just said is that for years I've been saying, you don't have to listen to us, just don't fucking listen to them ever, and make superhero movies, and they can't go back to that now. I wish I could say more, but the plot for Doomsday, everybody's expecting it to be a mess. It's a mess. It's this shocking news, and it's going to be a 3-hour mess.
Who would have thought that a movie with about 57 characters in it would be a mess plot-wise?
That's being written on the fly.
At some point, you're losing money on these films. You're losing audience support. You're losing your heart. You've already lost most of your hardcore audience. Just fucking walk door to door and fire these people. They get the fuck out. You don't work here anymore. And if they get upset and they're sad and they want to, rally the troops, guess what? Go talk to all your fucking supporters. They don't have any because they're all backbiting each other. That's how they've always done it.
It comes down to survival of the studio at a certain point. Sheer financial necessity is what's going to override anything, because you can't keep making flop after flop and losing hundreds of millions of dollars on each of these movies. The money will run out eventually. Then what are you going to do? You either fire these people that are ruining your company, or the company stops existing. That's what they're going to come down to.
The industry, this coming year, they're going to be releasing more movies. So theaters should do a little better. There won't be these giant months where there's nothing, right? But David Poland and a lot of people from the Access Media, or formerly the Access Media, have been writing constantly recently, even despite Avatar doing well, that theaters are going to start closing next year. So they're going to feel the repercussions from this year next year, especially on quarterly reports. Theaters are empty. I mean, a lot of us still go to the movies. Most of the time they're empty. They're effing empty, and that's a lot of real estate. They're really expensive, and they're going to start closing, and that they still need them. They still need them.
Well, ironically, the MCU and things like it were probably the only things keeping movie theaters afloat throughout the 2010s. Just the crazy hype around those movies, that it really generated extra buzz for the summer movie season. That's what kept people going there at a time when streaming was starting to take off in a big way. Home cinemas were getting more and more capable. There was less and less incentive to go to the movies, apart from things like the next big Marvel project or whatever. Now that they're not relevant anymore and they've lost the general audience, that's when you've seen the decline in movie theaters. There's nothing to draw people in now. You're right. They're going to start closing.
The issue with that is that the reason why this came about in the first place was they started making so much money from China. They started to pour all of their stuff into bigger productions, which means they're now committing more to it. And that killed off all of the smaller things that may have brought people into the cinema as well, or at least made it harder for people to take over the entire industry. It is way easier to infiltrate an entire place if you only have to take over the people making superhero movies than all of the different studios, which is why gaming still makes some good games, but it's all AA games because they're all from smaller studios, and so it's a more distributed network than it is in movies.
Yeah, when the budget came out of Expedition 33, it was insane because it was reported the budget was around 30 million, and it ended up being less than 10.
$10 million is insane.
It's crazy. It's like, fuck, man.
That could buy so many Somalians meals, clothes.
Apparently not that many.
It's like playing the game. You would never think that this was a game done on a budget. Like,
I still couldn't believe that it was an indie studio. I'm like, this is your guys' first game. This is insane to come out of the gate swinging like that.
And over 4 million copies sold of the game. The profits are going to be through the roof on that. The only reason why they started to jump on top of it, and they used AI as an excuse, which, by the way, didn't fly with other games. They tried to use it with Battlefield, and but they excused it with COD. So there's definitely some confirmation, there's some bias there within these groups of people. But they tried to use AI, but the reason is because it wasn't diverse enough for them. That was the real problem for Expedition 33. It was successful. It didn't lean into diversity. It just lent into good characters, good story, good gameplay, an incredible world. And that just kind of showed that you don't need any of this inclusion diversity if it doesn't match the story that you're trying to tell.
Well, it did have a good mix of characters as well. There was plenty of good female characters in it.
Yes.
I mean, ethnically it wasn't that diverse.
At the moment you start...
No, but that's what makes it diverse. If you have people from all over the world in every game, that's not diverse. That's just a blob of everything being the same. Whereas if you have things which are set in America, in England, in Japan, in Russia, then you have specific places which are all different all around the world. That's actual diversity.
The dev team was also way too white. The dev team was all fucking French, right? So it's like,
Oh, they were white French people, yeah.
Yeah.
For the
we
most
should
part, yeah.
reiterate, white French people, not the French people you see competing in soccer in the Olympics.
Not
right?
the Algerians, not the Algerians and the Moroccans, which come over and no, not those. The actual French people.
Yeah.
But then you had like James Bond First Light, and you've got this
God.
image. You've got Bond who's
Money
white.
Penny.
You've got the probably the political
Indian female M
guy who's black. Then you got the Pakistani/Indian M. Then you've got the ugly as fuck black Miss Money Penny. Then you've got the gay white guy Q. Probably he's definitely taken it up the wrong one. And then you've got the Bond love interest who's fucking flat, is probably concave when it comes to her chest. She's just like flat as a pancake, so you can't have any. And that just really shows. And then the director, Martin, whatever he's called, says, well, this is Bond's going to be a modern guy.
Nice.
With modern values.
For modern audiences.
I bet people saw that very well.
It would be tone deaf if we did traditional James
Yeah.
Bond, yes.
And
And it's like, you know
if
what?
we had violence and
That's why
sex
people
and-
fucking want it, right? Because people are tired of this shit. They want the traditional heroes back. If you want to make a random game about some modern male hero with all the fucking diversity everywhere, you are free to make that fucking game. When you make a James Bond game using the James Bond IP, maybe you should make a James Bond game. Maybe that's what James Bond fans want. Like, you go so far as to give him the fucking scar as written in Ian Fleming's novels. But all of the other shit is not, like, doesn't remind anyone of James Bond.
No, because James Bond is alpha and masculine, and that's everything that fucking scares the shit out of them, apart from the color of his skin being white. And the fact that he's also very heterosexual. He's very dominant. He's very domineering. And that is Bond. And Bond lives in a dangerous world. Bond lives in a world of fast cars, fast women, fast drinking, everything. Because he could, everything's so finite in that world. It could just end in a moment's notice. And that's the danger. And that's the sort of hook when it comes to Bond because of that world. Now we're just going to get this. He's going to say a couple of Marvel wisecracks, probably, as we've seen in the trailer. The gameplay looks very repetitive. There's a couple of bits that they showed off where he's fighting multiple people in locations, and it looks silly because you just got AI standing there waiting for their turn, and then you've got a guy shooting at him point blank that misses. And I'm like, and then the driving scenes, if you've seen the driving scenes, it doesn't matter which car you're in, the fast car or the dumpster truck. They're looking very on the rails, type of similar. You kind of feel like you drive 3 meters down the road, hits a checkpoint, and then another 3 meters, hits a checkpoint for safety reasons, because, heaven forbid you repeat this stuff. Yeah, it's wild. If you're having Bond, make it Bond. Otherwise, it's a skin suit.
This is why it was reported that during Amazon's discussions of Bond, someone in the room said, I don't think James Bond is a hero. And it's like, from your modern morality, he isn't. He's evil. He's the villain. He's everything that you despise, but that's what people want. And so this is one of the reasons you can't have these people in the room because they will, even if they're in the room, they will water it down and take away.
They should not be allowed to write a grocery list with that fucking attitude. Fuck that.
No.
All right.
No, because it'll just be kale.
Yes.
More kale.
Oh, God. I kept it to generals. I'm supposed to keep it to generals right now. Generalizations about Doomsday. I called
we'll let you judge what's general.
Immediately just drops the biggest spoiler.
It's going to be imagine a plot.
Doomsday's
put it in a blender.
Doomsday gang rapes the Council of Kangs.
I'm surprised not the name of the big villain. General. Okay.
No. It's really long. So the script is 186 pages long. So if you minute
that's
per
a
page,
fucking novel.
Damn.
It was described as a fucking mess, not just a mess, a fucking mess.
Wow. You could have seen this coming.
An entire
$400 million.
An entire world. One of the factions. There's X-Men. I think there's Deadpool, and then there's one of the worlds dies like immediately right at the beginning.
One of these, worlds.
One of these worlds just gets destroyed in the beginning.
Fox X-Men.
And you know how I think the plot's even out there at this point, but I can't confirm that. And at the how can I word this? Remember when some of us were pontificating that it's going to be Dr. Doom murders the MCU?
Well, you were, yeah.
Yeah, it's Dr. Doom murders the MCU.
Oh,
again, that's not a bad idea, depending on who he kills. If he does wipe out the previous phases, you just have to commit to the bit.
What if it's everybody?
Yeah, so like
I'm
gonna be honest,
the classic one.
Nothing of value was lost at this point.
That shit would be kind of rad.
This is what
Could be good.
This is what my idea has been for Doomsday and Secret Wars the entire time.
Yes.
Doom is basically going out there and he's destroying some of these fucking worlds. I don't really know what his motivation is. It's going to be something that maybe to some people in a twisted sort of way makes sense, and he's actually trying to save something. Who fucking knows? And he's going to be killing off a ton of different characters. Our remaining characters might fight each other a little bit, but have to unite against him. And the ending of Doomsday is probably going to be kind of like the ending of Infinity War, where there's been a lot of shit bad, a lot of shit wrong has happened. And then in Secret Wars, they're going to bring literally every single person back. We're going to see every person you've possibly seen that they can get to sign onto a contract from anything, even to appear for a moment. That's when you get Tobey Maguire back. That's when you get Andrew Garfield back. That's when you get everybody.
Nicholas Hammond.
Unifying thing. And
Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. That's what I'm rooting for.
And at the end of Secret Wars, all the other timelines are purged. All the other fucking worlds are purged. And we get left with a essential one timeline on one world or one universe
reboot
in which we have some characters ready to take the next step. Maybe a new team of X-Men and stuff like that. That's kind of been what I've thought the whole time.
And that's what's going to make things interesting. As you pointed out in the past, Ryan, Spider-Man Brand New Day was supposed to come out after Doomsday, not before Doomsday. So I don't know how they're going to work that in. They can play with the timeline, but Sadie Sink is Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's the worst kept secret in the world now. But yeah, it's going to be, it's basically Battle World. It's going to be the not the good Secret Wars. It's going to be the bad Secret Wars.
The 2015 Secret Wars.
Yeah. And we'll, what Ryan said, it's leading to a soft reboot. And a quote from Kevin Feige in that MCU book that came out a couple of years ago was, if we do a reboot, we've failed.
Yep.
And here you are.
Well, the evidence is kind of overwhelming anyway.
Yeah.
The question is, like, will people care enough anymore?
I don't think so.
I think they will, bringing people back.
But I think this is going
since
to
Robert
piss
Downey
off,
Jr., I thought that would bring people back.
I think this is going to piss off all the people that have co-opted this. The people that scream about Ironheart and how much they love, and why they're mad about there not being another Shang-Chi film. I think it's going to piss all of them off. And I think they'll probably win back a fraction of like hardcore fans that are like, cool, maybe I give you another shot. Maybe you're actually like trying to do something here. And to be honest, I kind of hope he just kills everybody. That would be fucking rad.
Such a sad ending to the MCU. It is like
it's a bit of a downer.
It's a bit of a downer to go to like, hey kids, get in the car. Let's watch everybody die. Nightcrawler's back. Oh no, he's not.
I think they realize they've reached saturation point with all of this. Like they have milked it for all it's worth, and there is it's too fragmented. There's too much like homework that you have to do for any new project now, any new movie. There's too much lore, too much backstory. It needs a reset.
It needs to go back to square one. Is it bad for me to say that like I'm willing to sacrifice absolutely everybody as long as you get rid of Simu Liu?
Yes.
I don't think you're going far enough, Gary.
Yeah. Okay.
Like we've just seen a trailer where Thor has a daughter, and given that storyline, if they're going to be a new team to take over afterwards, are we just going to do he's passed the torch on to his daughter for the next phase again?
Who fucking knows, dude? I think what we're going to see is that this movie is going to be very front loaded, and there's going to be a massive drop off like we've seen before in the past with the second week.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they'll do anything.
It doesn't matter
right.
how much it makes. It's going to lose money.
No, I don't trust them to do anything right. They've not done anything right so far. Disparu earlier was talking about boundaries, right? And the thing is, we want stuff here and they want stuff there. And it isn't a matter of the pendulum swinging to us. It's a matter of them going, where can we go? How far can we just inch back to the line that they want that is acceptable that they'll take? And that's how you take ground as a leftist. That's as a fucking mentally or leftist. You do that, then the line becomes there. And then they go, boom, again. And they do that. So I don't trust them to get this right at all. because there'll be voices there, very loud voices there, that'll be like, well, we need our representation and we need our diversity. So there must be characters which have this. So certain characters will be race changed, or certain genders, the women will just be the emphasis on the X-Men going forward. You might even find that they decide to retire some of the bigger names, like a potential Wolverine, like a potential Cyclops, in an effort to grow a Jubilee or something like that, which they want to take forward. I don't trust them for one fucking moment. Just end this whole fucking thing, kill everyone, and fuck off home.
So internally, eternally at Disney, Ryan, what was the fucking website where the HR guy was getting confronted by the trans dude and the staff in the hallway, and they all had their fucking phones up over some rule change, and they're all getting in his face.
Oh, then they all
that was recent.
And then they all got fired, and they were surprised. Like that's Disney. That's Lucasfilm. That's what they have to deal with. And
but at the same time, there was all the rumors that Disney were going around and they were changing all their stuff. All of these companies were attending a social impact entertainment seminar about how they actually make entertainment that people like, but also fill it full of social messaging and everything else. Netflix has these people. Netflix has an employee whose sole purpose is to put environmental messaging into TV shows. That's all she does. So
what are they called? Cunt.
Enviro.
The employee's name is James Cameron.
I mean, like, obviously this is like this is a pipe dream and it's not a real life for most people. But like, if you're in a position where you making a rule change that upsets a bunch of freaks that like are more obsessed with like identity politics and who they're fucking and what clothes they're wearing, and they confront you in a hallway, the only answer is either we're throwing hands or you're all fired. Like at that point you go, I don't care what you scream at me. I don't care how many fucking people are standing in this hallway yelling at me. You're all gone, because that's how business works. And the thing is, the bottom line is you're losing money, and you're going to lose. Something has to give. You're either, like Drinker said, you're going to lose your fucking company, or you're going to have to get rid of these fucking people. And who cares how upset they get and scream at you? They're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to put their hands on you. They're not going to actually try to do shit about it. They're just going to cry on social media. Ignore these motherfuckers and get back to like basics.
So the culture, the wider culture, I think, has shifted now over the past year or two to the point where it's more feasible to do what you're saying. Like maybe 4-5 years ago, it would be impossible. Like they would burn the company to the ground if you tried it. Now everyone's kind of got fatigue from that stuff.
Yep.
And so it's more possible to get rid of these people.
My hope would be, however, go ahead, Ryan.
You do, as a company, right? Looking at it from Disney's perspective, sure, if people are marching down the hallways and posting this shit like to social media, rights to fire them. There's a lot of other people there who aren't necessarily doing anything that might, instantaneous, easy termination. Disney has a problem with wrongful termination lawsuits on both sides. They just had to pay out who knows how much to Gina Carano for firing her over her political opinions. On the other side, they had a settlement with Victoria Alonso, who, by all stretch of the imagination, whether you want to talk about the diminishing returns of her products, whether you want to talk about her actions, calling out her boss on fucking stage at a gay thing, or attending premiere she's not supposed to, they also had to pay out because she filed a wrongful termination lawsuit. They did a settlement with her. So you do have to make sure that legally in California you have cause to fire them, which can be a difficult thing.
You don't even have to fire them. You just make them redundant. Like, hey, we're shutting down your whole department. Sorry, we'd love to keep you on, but there's just not a job for you.
Oh, that's coming for Warner Brothers. Hopefully CNN is, which it is, redundant and just gets cut off. I don't care who buys fucking Warner Brothers as long as they get rid of CNN. And that's a win for the world.
Gary, did you see that DC massively outsold Marvel last year in comics?
I'm not surprised.
That was James Gunn.
But with one comic too, with essentially like one comic line.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not like multiple titles, but just that's how bad it is. But
it's just an unfortunate thing. But like, even if the culture is these people will burn this company to the ground, let them.
Yeah, because they don't care.
You have to go fucking scorch earth. If they destroy your company and tear it to shreds, those people will become so untouchable in the industry that they'll never get a job again. But the problem is, you let them off the hook and you let them walk away gracefully, they'll go to another company and ruin the same shit. And they spread, and they hire their friends, and they hire their friends' friends. And
Alex Kurtzman said that when he was talking about Star Trek, and this was during Koof, he's being interviewed, and he said, it's not about Star Trek, it's about using Star Trek to send our messages. Yeah. Using that logic, they themselves don't give a shit about the company they work for either. They use the company that they're working for to push their message.
Exactly. And the activist doesn't care if they're happy either way. They either get the company to change to do exactly what they want, or they let the company burn down and they move on to another one.
Exactly.
And what Mike said is they've got to become like pariahs in the industry. And they're not right now because they're protected by the unions who are activists. They're protected by the HR departments that are activists. The DEI departments that are supposedly closed down, they're being renamed. They're licking their wounds,
just being shuffled
Ricky
around.
Gervais just said it in his pretty damn good comedy special. They're just licking their wounds. They're going to be back. They're going to try to get smarter. So it's having the willingness, and Drinker's right. You can fire these people right now, and you'll get some blowback on social media, and Doomsday will still have a huge opening weekend if they did it at Marvel, for example, right? It wouldn't affect it at all, at all. Has it affected J.K. Rowling at all?
No.
In the least bit? No. So it's
but she's got a legitimate product. J.K. has a legitimate product which millions upon tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people love worldwide. Some dumb mentally ill group of people who 41% of them probably aren't even here anymore. Causing a bit of a stink on social media because it's just full of slacktivists. It's not going to have an effect because half of the people that are fucking screaming at somebody like J.K. Rowling, they're not even what they claim to be. It's just the trend. It's just the thing which gives them attention and clicks. So they're not even fucking trans. Trans people aren't like that. So she's okay. Marvel's in the shit. These films have been shit. The direction of the TV show shit. Same with DC as well. So they don't even know where they're going. They're just fucking meandering all over the place and throwing fucking shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. And if the first week will do well for Doomsday,
sure.
But if that film is dog shit,
78%
it's going to have a colossal. It's going to have a colossal drop off.
It's going to have a massive
drop off. No, they had their chance. Unfortunately, it was in a time where they couldn't have. Well, they felt like they could always do this, but the environment was they couldn't do it, and that chance is gone now. So you can fire everybody right fucking now. I don't know how you rebuild Lucasfilm and Marvel. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you liquidate that shit and then you let it hit the wind. You just start making a bunch of pop-up companies that will buy that shit out and let individual companies handle individual IPs. And that's how you do it, because that's what we're also seeing in gaming is individual companies will go, hey, we put out a banger game and now we're making money and we're making more money. And Larian Studios is still technically an independent company that made a shit ton of cash. And not only that, but then looked at Wizard of the Coast and said, we don't really like how you tell us to do shit, so we're not making any more of your fucking games. So now Wizard of the Coast is going to make Baldur's Gate 4. That's going to happen, and it's going to be awful because they don't even know how to make good games.
Yeah,
and that's what you're supposed to. That's what you have to do. You have to go. We're going to apply what we know to one thing. We're going to make it good. We're not trying to build a franchise. We're just trying to make a good product. That one good product will feed so many people and will make so much money. The fact is, this year, the movie F1 would have been a middling film.
Yes.
15 years ago. The fact that it made that much money is because people just liked having a fun movie to go see in the theater. And that's what it's supposed to be. But we should have we should have a list of that. That's not what's happening. There's so little good things right now. People are just desperate for one thing to grab a hold on.
Weapons, and back in the good days, Weapons would have been your 20th favorite movie of the year.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
It was a really bad. It was the year of the Slopbuster, and it was. Yeah. And it's Hollywood's obsession with identity has cost them their identity.
Yeah.
That's so ironic.
The one thing they never ask themselves is if our ideology is wrong, is it just acidic to stories? Like, can you have this ideology and still make a good story? Because your ideology is at its core not real. It is, you want everyone to believe a fantasy world that if we all believe it and get together, it'll somehow fix everything. But if stories don't relate to reality, nobody relates to them. It doesn't show you anything. It doesn't teach you anything. You've never experienced this in your life. And so nobody likes the stories that come out of it. Whereas Formula One was just a guy struggling against the world, trying to overcome other people, the underdog fighting against the greater guy. Everyone can relate to that story. Yeah. And then you have throwing cars and a good setting, and it becomes a great movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably why they utterly refuse to give an inch on any of this stuff. Because if you question any aspect of it, and if they're forced to admit, well, this movie didn't work because we tried to insert this and that ideology into it, well, then suddenly their entire worldview starts to collapse. And then they have to confront the horrifying realization of maybe we've been wrong about a lot of things.
Well, this is the problem with luxury beliefs is they're luxuries and they're not real. I mean, that's the issue that we've been seeing for years.
It's worse than that because these people not have an ideology, but they then use that to impact other people. So if any of these people go, what we've been doing is wrong, well, now you've been racially discriminating against people for years. You've been crushing people's careers. You've got an entire generation of men and taken out the entire industry. They've not been able to. It was like the Lost Generation article that I think everyone's seen at this point.
Yeah.
You've actively been doing evil, and a lot of people, that will cause a lot of mental stress, and that just makes you double down, even if you know you're wrong, to protect yourself from realizing what you've done.
They actually think they're changing the world, that they're educating people, that they know better. Their job to trick everyone into being different, I guess.
That's the BBC's entire attitude, and it'll never change. The BBC still thinks like, well, we're right. Just the audience is just filled with Nazis. It's crazy.
You're not.
And the hope is if you poison the well deep enough, that the next generation will believe the shit that you're selling, and they'll show up for you in the end, and you play the long game and win. But that's not what's happening, and they're starting to see that that's not what's happening.
No,
and they're going to get from your point A to point B there, Mike. There's tends to be, and I just got to think about this for a second. There tends to be a massive fucking war that always goes between those 2 points.
Every time. Yep.
Every time.
Never comes peacefully. And that's the thing. You have to go scorched earth because they will go scorched earth. These people are willing to burn down companies. They're willing to salt the earth so nobody has anything to go to and can grow anything to prove that they're right.
Succeeded.
Yeah.
Star Wars is salted earth.
Salted earth.
Oh,
but you have
Star
to
Trek is salted earth.
The same people that will write at the end of Stranger Things, I really hate capitalism. They don't care about other people's money. They care about their money. And so they're wasting your money in the company to personally enrich themselves getting paid. And they don't care whether it makes profit or not. They've already got theirs. They can move on to the next thing. So there is a kind of, if you actually hire capitalists, they do care about profit and they care about the company making profit.
The Duffer Brothers care about capitalism. They accepted a pretty big contract, and I don't think they're buying houses for the general public or immigrants.
There are a lot of rich socialists and communists in the world, but they're very careful with their money and nobody else's.
Of course.
Like Hassan Pike.
It's their money.
They'll roll their window up when they see that homeless guy at the
mansion.
Remember what Hassan said? I'd rather be a rich socialist than a poor capitalist.
Well, to be fair, he's been both, so...
Well, no, I don't think he's been poor in his fucking day.
No, he hasn't been poor.
Well,
no.
No, but do you remember his bro
wouldn't know
videos?
anything about the
he's definitely played both sides.
Yeah.
He's just like Dylan Mulvaney. He just found something a shtick that stuck. Yeah.
Yes.
He's no different than Dylan Mulvaney at all.
So how's everybody doing?
Lovely.
How's everybody doing? How are you doing?
Mike's Will's still gay, by the way.
Will's very gay.
Not below me, Will. Stranger things, Will. Unless you want to say anything, Drinker? No.
Got to let you guys know something.
You felt inspired. You felt inspired by the bridge episode.
Yeah.
There you go.
I saw all those tentacles getting shoved down people's throats, and I thought, that's for me.
This is New Year's resolution.
Drinker's coming out thing will be the most obvious. I don't like water.
Does anybody want to admit they like poo-poo on their pee-pee?
I do want
some
to
dude
admit
got so
something,
triggered
Gary.
at me over that
Dude,
fucking
that
meme.
was so fucking funny.
I have something for Starfleet Academy. I have a friend of mine bought me this to wear for when I do my Starfleet Academy reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I'll be wearing that proudly when I do my Starfleet Academy reviews.
Couple weeks. And yeah,
I can't bring myself to watch it. I can't. Those clips are excruciating, man.
Drinker, do it.
Why would you
I
make
can't.
it?
The world wants you to watch that. Okay. If I got to watch it, you got to watch it.
This might be the worst thing you've ever gotten us to review, and you made us review Echo. Like, I'm dreading Starfleet Academy.
I think Peacemaker was worse than Echo.
Yeah,
I do.
But I was fucking dropped in one weekend. We got to fucking just power through it.
I didn't have to binge Peacemaker. I had to binge Echo and
Ironheart,
but
you had that great bit
in
Ironheart was really fucking bad.
Ironheart was
was that a good time?
Extraordinarily bad.
Ironheart was
that
amazing.
shit fun?
That's what
basically awful.
Dude, when I went back looking at it again, and I'm like, oh my god, they hit every beat, man. Diverse people robbing people, extorting people, murdering people, ratting each other out to going in jail, diverse women fighting in fast food restaurants. It's like, hey, every note. Relatives getting
making deals with the literal devil.
Yeah, relatives getting killed in drive-by shootings. I'm like, this is the most racist shit Marvel has ever done.
Bro, it was great. It was so good. I was like,
so good.
Awesome.
I have to keep reminding myself that show was real. And it got made.
And they had
it's
to really
just insane.
It was too much for them, though. They're like, okay, contractually we have to release this, but how long can we keep it on the shelf? And it was like 2 years. Okay. We'll keep
It was
on the
funny
shelf
in the
for 2
interviews
years.
where Hood was where they asked Hood a question. What was your favorite part about the process? And he was like, I don't know. It's a very long time ago.
All right. On that note, before we get to soups, it's still New Year's weekend, right? I still have my Christmas tree. I'm keeping it up till Sunday. I'm gonna be a rebel. I don't care. I'm not giving up on the dream yet.
Do it, Gary.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Quickly, Shad. We want to go through because you guys all submitted a list to me for the top 5 video I did. So but it wasn't, your votes were different. Superman was on a lot of people's list. It just missed the cut. But what are your favorite and worst of the year? We'll start with Az.
I'm just finding the list. Okay, so my Hollywood disasters of 2025, I voted in. This is in no particular order, but I voted Superman because when you're launching your DC universe and you can't even make your money back, and then you follow up with a derivative fucking version which isn't in any capacity anywhere near as popular. Good luck. Predator Midlands for turning Predator into a girl brand and turning her into a little puppy as well, just like an alien.
I actually want to see a Predator movie set in the Midlands of England.
Yeah. Driving around in a Ford Cortina.
Every time.
Snow White, which made the list, obviously, that was a pretty big one. Captain Black, Falcon America, which hit the list as well. And I also put Mickey 17 as one of the biggest flops of the year. And it was annoying because the stuff with Patterson was really good. And then the stuff, then halfway through the film, it just went, do you know what? We're going to focus on his girlfriend and Mark Ruffalo doing the worst Trump impression of all time. And that was just absolute garbage. So it was such a shame because I was rather looking forward to it. In terms of good stuff, Weapons, really enjoyed Weapons. Mobland was sensational. Possibly the best thing that I've watched all year in terms of just pure entertainment. Expedition 33 as a video game, Blueprints as a video game, and a little bit of Arc Raiders, some amazing video games hitting the shelves. So yeah, that's me.
All right, Shad.
You know, when trying to pick the worst stuff of this year, the list is big. There is a lot of things to pick from because this was a crap year in media. But I think the worst thing for me at the very top has to be Ironheart. That was just so bad. And then the close one, I was like, which one would beat it? Snow White, of course, is the contender for the worst piece of media release this year. And then the other ones, of course, for me was Alien Earth. Mission Impossible was just so retarded. And then Mickey 17 was one of the worst pieces of it. Like, they jumped the shark with Mark Ruffalo in that movie.
Oh.
It was unbearable. In terms of best media, there were a couple of standouts for me, even though this is like right on the edge. Landman is the best thing.
Landman's awesome.
Landman is phenomenal. Mobland was, like, to my surprise, really engaging and fun, and it's not the usual thing I like. Frankenstein was a standout for me. And then these ones are, a bit more on the weeb side. So Solo Leveling Season 2 actually came out at the beginning of this year, and I friggin' love Solo Leveling. And then I wasn't expecting this one. I was not expecting, but K-pop Demon Hunters was surprisingly good. I was like, okay, there we go. Wasn't expecting it, but I enjoyed it.
You like Cinderella, and
it's a
Cinderella.
lot of fun.
I'm not
K-pop
ashamed.
Demon Hunters is a lot of fun.
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is good.
I believe you. All right, Disparu.
The worst thing this year for me was Doctor Who Season 2 by quite a long way. Then going down, although I did write this list before The War Between Land and Sea, which probably would have made the list if I'd had to make it again. But Section 31 was second, then Ironheart. G20, which kind of breaks my heart because I know it's bad, but I also love everything about it.
It was so fun to review and watch,
and then The Savant getting cancelled was number 5. I was really looking forward to that.
That was
And
hilarious.
I was very disappointed I didn't get to see that. Which I think would have ended up as some kind of romantasy, if I have to shag this Chad to save the world, then I will kind of storyline.
If I've got to fuck Hitler, then I'll
to save the world. I can cure him.
I hope it gets leaked at some point. I really
Me
wanna
as a
see
liberal white woman, I'll be doing this for us.
It's still on Apple's site where they show the critics and everything, so they haven't taken it down from that yet. So it might still come out. For good things, Mobland. Then I preferred Formula 1. The top 2 for me were Nero the Assassin. If you like budget fantasy, that is awesome. It's like a show from the 90s. It's great. And then Last Samurai Standing is my favorite.
I gotta check that out.
I think Last Samurai Standing is what Squid Game Season 2 and 3 should have been. They should have gone out and expanded it into the world, which you can easily do in a modern setting and make it make sense.
I'm only like 3 episodes in, but if I had watched that last year, it would have been in my top 5 favorites. It's that good. If it sticks to landing, which I'm guessing it will, it's pretty awesome.
It's so great because you can have, if they've done it in Squid Game, you can have the game set in the real world in public, and now you're dragging innocence into it, and it adds a whole new.
And they have like a fake history, but a historical element to the end of the samurai, and like
it's only one season.
So it's 6 episodes. Yeah, 1 season.
Yeah. Okay.
Watch it tonight.
I am.
There you go. Cool. Comics.
Okay, for the bad, my number 5 is going to be The Running Man. I was really looking forward to the movie, and it was a bit of a disappointment. Didn't hate it, but it was just mainly disappointing. Number 4, Predator's Badland, because, female Predator movie at that point. This is where I go away from actual movies and TV shows and going straight to the industry, the MCU, because literally every MCU movie this year was garbage. Followed by Disney because they've lost a lot of fucking money. And the biggest loser is ultimately Hollywood, as well as the theaters.
There you go.
For good, The Naked Gun, number 5. Conjuring, number 4 was actually pretty good. My wife and I did a Conjuring run and watched all of them this year, and it was fucking great. Weapons is number 3. Landman is number 2. And number 1 is Mobland.
Great show. Odin. Oh, he's gone. Chrissy.
Okay. Worst 5 moments. I think Snow White was the worst. Just everything together. The Rachel Zegler, everything we've been talking about for what feels like years. Thunderbolts, I felt was particularly horrible. Ironheart, for all the reasons Shad mentioned. All's Fair. I didn't know whether to put that into like best or worst because it was so horrible.
It's tough.
But
It's tough.
it's so entertaining too. Like, who would have ever expected just Kim Kardashian to be like in a playing a serious role?
A rich bitch.
Yeah. Want to be lawyer.
Brainless dipshit.
Right. Because she can't be a real lawyer. And then like to zoom
No, she
out on
failed.
the sort of like the industry as a whole, worst moment, I think it was folks kind of celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder / the like lively Baldoni drama. I just think that
I
like
forgot about that completely.
made them all look just bad. It's just like we're learning too much about these people, and it just makes me hate Hollywood even more. Best moments, how bad the box office did. I kind of enjoyed the Minecraft movie and FNAF 2 because I saw them both like with my stepson, and like we've seen like we follow all that stuff, so it was like kind of entertaining, like low bar set for entertaining movies this year. I enjoyed Squid Game, even though there were a lot of problems. It's still like I enjoy watching that show. And I thought, as far as like comedy goes, Nikki Glaser did a great job hosting the Golden Globes. She had a lot of good jokes, and she's doing great, and she looks great. So that's a bonus for the.
She did pretty good. No Ricky Gervais, but she did a good job.
Yeah, it's a high bar.
Odin.
Yeah. So for me, I obviously look at this from like a box office lens for one. So right now, the most successful, the best film of the year was Zootopia 2 with over $300 million so far in net profit. For the actual film itself, something that Avatar has not yet actually done. It's still about 200 million in the red because it has to make so much more money back to actually break even. It'll get there. I mean, it'll definitely get to that point. But Zootopia 2 is just very impressive as far as total box office is concerned. And the best part about all of that, though, is that it does almost nothing to do away with the $1 billion worth of losses that Disney's working with this year. So it's gonna cut into it. It's gonna make a dent, but it's still gonna leave a lot on the table, and it's not gonna be. Let's just say Avatar is not going to make enough net profit to make up the difference of just how much money.
Not this year, anyway.
No, definitely not this
in the
year.
next quarter.
Yeah, and then also think about next year, especially right with how much money that they are spending on Doomsday. I mean, that's also likely going to end up being, if anything, a possible loss for them, even if it makes a bunch of money because of just the massive budget of that specific film. So Zootopia 2 is like the big winner of the box office this year. And then the big loser of the box office this year, unfortunately, a film that I liked. I think that they could have ended it a bit better, but it's technically Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, just because of how much money they spent on that movie and how little they really made back on it. Roughly 335 million in net losses on that movie.
Damn.
Now, again, I'm sure there's some of that. Some might get back on VOD sales, Blu-ray, like etc. But still, not a good place you want to end theatrically. With
2 years from now, when you actually add in what it costs for Snow White, I think
that's number 2 on the list. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's number 2 currently. But yeah, once we get the actual numbers for some of these movies, there might be some that replace it. But even with the 270 million budget of Snow White being reported, 309 million in losses for that film. So that movie definitely will be up there.
Jesus Christ.
I know. And the Captain America was like not too far behind, but that's also, we don't know the budget yet of Captain America.
They told us 180 million and it cost at least 300 because they reshot it 2.5 times.
So if it costs 300, that's 256 million in losses. But even if it did cost that supposed 180, that would still be like 115 million in losses. So you add that with Snow White, with Tron Ares, with Elio, which are also right next to it. That's the reason why it's like $1 billion worth of losses this year for
This
Disney.
isn't even death by 1,000 cuts. It's like death by 1,000 gaping bullet wounds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Enormous. 5,000 gunshots.
Exactly. And
death
so
by 1,000 C4s.
Yeah.
That's why, like, for like opinions on film, Snow White I thought was probably the worst of all. Like, it's just so bad. It's just so atrocious and just offensively so. There's just nothing redeeming about it. And then for me, the best movie, it's like tied right now because I haven't made my top list because there's still a lot of films I haven't seen. But I Like Me, the John Candy documentary, which is so good.
I liked it.
So good. And then Warfare, which is a film that most people did not get to see.
I have not seen that yet.
I recommend it, dude.
I have that in my honorable mentions.
Yeah. So those are kind of like my best and worst for this year. And
Awesome.
then, TV side, people have already mentioned it, like, Landman and Tulsa King, right? Things like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah. So worst of this year, James Gunn in general, Superman.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Superman,
Oh, it's legit.
Peacemaker, Alien Earth, and then I also put Pedro Pascal. Because fuck that. Everything to do with him. Yeah. Best of this year, Sydney Sweeney's boobs. She might have kept the timeline.
You beat me to it, god damn it.
Yeah, she might have kept the timeline, together. F1, Expedition 33, one of the best games I've ever played. In my top 20 best games of all time. Anime, just in general, Demon Slayer, Free Run, Solo Leveling, Dr. Stone.
gosh.
They've been dropping bangers. Oh, look at that. I actually forgot my list now. Hold on.
I regret nothing.
And then my last one, Stereotypes won this year. I'm really happy about that. We need to reinforce more stereotypes. Ironheart, bunch of, minority criminals killing each other and stealing stuff, robbing and shit. It's pretty good. The Savant.
Whenever I hang out with Mike, I shift my wallet to my front pocket.
Often I tell him to do so. I'm like, hey man, I'm just letting you know.
It's very tempting.
The Savant, a liberal white woman getting in everybody else's business. That's pretty cool. And then Will, no matter how smart he is, going to a gay bar was the best thing he could ever do for his life. So,
especially in the 80s.
Shout out to Stereotypes. That's awesome.
Everybody's got AIDS.
Everyone has
AIDS. Ryan Kinnell.
So I just think we got a lot of similarities here. My biggest disaster, number one, is Snow White. Absolute pile of shit, combined with all of the just disastrous drama that surrounded it and Rachel Zegler's career torpedoing and everything. Ironheart. Do I have to fucking say any more than that? Captain Black America, number 3 on that list. Number 4, Last of Us Season 2. I feel like that kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. We got to see once again the very same thing that happened for The Last of Us 2, like the disaster that occurred with the fan base that liked the first one and then absolutely hated the second part of it. And then my 5th one, even though it's not going to come out this year, whatever, the announcement of Black Snape. There's a lot of fucking minorities in my biggest disaster. It's weird how that works. But the announcement of Black Snape is so terrible for a show that could have been so perfect. So that was the number 5 on my list. Top things. I thought Mobland was the best thing of the year, and I was shocked by it. It looked cool or whatever, but I started getting into it, and I loved Mobland. Reacher Season 3 is my number 2 on the list. Reacher Season 3, I thought was excellent. Return to form. Not that I thought Season 2 is bad. It just wasn't as good as Season 1. Terminal List Dark Wolf, maybe not something that a ton of people watched, and I'm anxiously anticipating Terminal List Season 2 because I think it's going to be fucking awesome. But I was like, I'll watch it, little spinoff, whatever. I ended up really liking Terminal List Dark Wolf.
It was really good.
I put Frankenstein up there, and it's funny because it's not like, oh, I fucking love the movie so much. It was just everything about it was so well done. It was well acted. The sets were great. The music was great. Just a fucking great experience watching it. So I put Frankenstein up there. 5th on my list. I had a tough time. I did really like Warfare, like Odin mentioned. If you're looking for a story, there's not a ton of one there, but it's a really good movie. I liked How to Train Your Dragon. As somebody who's a fan of the animated one. And even one on your list, Shad, that you hated, Mission Impossible. It's not a good movie, but just wrapping up Ethan Hunt's kind of saga. I did enjoy Mission Impossible, but I had to put F1 in there. I think that's like the best, like in terms of what came out this year. I think that's the most high quality thing on that list, even if it might have been not what I enjoyed the most.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. And I know, Drinker, you made a video, which everybody should go watch, but if you want to run your list real quick.
Yeah, the joy of going last on something like this, I'm just going to be reiterating stuff that everyone else has said. So, Mr.
I had a couple new ones in there.
Yeah, for worst stuff, Alien Earth, because every episode somehow managed to be more retarded than the one before it. It was insane. I don't know how they got away with that. Star Trek Section 31, for obvious reasons, it was the single worst product of Star Trek endeavor, I think, ever. It was nonstop low budget garbage from start to finish. It was like designed by people who hate Star Trek. That's the best I can say about it. Predator Badlands for Lumpy the Predator talking about his feelings around a campfire and freeing himself from toxic masculinity. So yeah, Thea the android was the most annoying sidekick in possibly the entire year. Just would not shut the fuck up. Last of Us Season 2, as Ryan mentioned, purely for the line, "I'm gonna be a dad." That alone deserves to consign that to the ash heap of history.
Oh my god!
And Ironheart, I still can't believe that show got released. I think they would have been better eating the losses and the lawsuits to just bin it forever. It's awful.
Just to Predator Badlands, Hideo Kojima has said he wants to make a Predator Badlands game because he thinks the girl on the back of the character would be the best thing he could put in.
Hideo Kojima
she's in Death Stranding too.
He's always going to Hideo Kojima. I mean,
yeah. He's hired Hunter Schafer for his new game, so you know.
Best of luck there.
Yeah, he seems like a really humble guy. Just gonna say. Sorry, go on, Drake.
For good stuff, F1 I think was the most fun I've had with movies this year. It just made me feel good. It was like great sports drama.
Oh yeah.
Good action, good racing scenes. Brad Pitt was awesome in it. Just feel good movie. Warfare, as other people have pointed out, I was lucky enough to watch it when it came out. It didn't get a huge release, but I wish more people had seen it. Great story, not exactly complex, but pretty brutal and realistic depiction of war. K-pop Demon Hunters, because there's the old gay coming through again.
Gay.
I don't know, man. You got a trio of female characters leading this thing, and they're actually super likable and funny and kind of goofing around. But there's like an interesting, not like super serious story, but there's some interesting themes that it touches on. So that it's a pretty decent film overall. What other ones did I have? Frankenstein, for the reasons people have already described. It's not exactly like breaking new ground. It's a story that's been retold a million times, but it's done with real flair and style. The cast is great. Can't really fault it. And Andor. Man, I know that's a controversial one in these circles, but for a Star Wars show, it got me, man.
Whoa!
He did it.
Yeah.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. But no, it finally engaged on that emotional level that it's been a little bit clinical with before. With season 1, it's very intricate, very like tightly written and stuff. But once you get to the fruition of all these character arcs and all these machinations that have been brewing throughout the season, it's some great shit right there. So those are my choices.
Excellent.
There's some honorable mentions in terms of the crap that is like deserves to be on any bag.
Shad of Shad things to do.
Yep.
Just one more thing.
Good job, everybody.
They need to be mentioned because Daredevil Born Again came out this year, and that was
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that shit.
War of the Rohirrim also came out this
Oh,
year.
no, that was last year. Not that was.
Was
that
that
was
War of last year. Yeah.
War of the Rohirrim was 2024.
Okay. Then, of course, Wicked was a recent one. Jurassic World as well.
Rebirth, yeah.
What?
And then, well,
It's
I think
dinosaurs.
we have mentioned Tron. Tron was atrocious, but also the Electric State as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the honorable mentions on my top 5, I had to cut. It was like, it's killing your babies. I could have made it a half hour long. I could have made it an hour long top 10 because Tron Ares, Predator Badlands, fucking Peacemaker season 2, which almost made it. It just got barely beat out by Last of Us season 2.
It's so tough because all of us with these lists, even if something's like worse, it might not matter to you as much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always
That's why I left.
I have Avatar, Fire and Ash in my top 3 worst because I hate that movie and I hate everything Avatar. But that's just me.
For the reason Ryan was saying there, that's why I left Snow White out of my list because it's like the drama and the controversy and all the bullshit swirling around it was way more interesting than the film itself, which was just blandly shit.
Right.
Well, it made my list, Drinker, at number 1 because of what it did to the original. Right. It was the movie that launched the company, and it's a perfect representation of like where Disney started and what it's become. you know, and it's got communist fucking messaging in it, you know, a fucking Snow White movie. So it had to be.
Yeah, and that one for me was on my list, not because I give two fucks about Snow White, but because it was such a massive fucking deal, and what it says about actors and the effect they can have on these movies, and the invasion of political messaging in terms of from the actors about everything. It was just a nightmare. And for the same reason, my Black Snape, which isn't even a fucking thing, it's just one actor's announcement for a fucking series that's not coming out for another year, was on my list.
Brian, that's the thing that like pissed me off the most this year, like by far. I mean, you didn't need to do that. It was so stupid. And then to like, let's go as far as like the actor you hired, the black actor you hired, doesn't even look like. You could maybe justify it if you get a black guy that looks like Snape, has a hook nose or something like that. But no, they just get some average looking dude. You know? It's like,
I was about to make a bad joke there.
I genuinely didn't believe it.
I know what joke you were gonna. Yeah,
I honestly thought it was a troll. I was like, this can't be real. They're not actually doing this.
No,
this
you know how they're gonna.
Joke.
You know how they're gonna fix the problem thematically, and Ryan knows this.
Sirius is gonna be black.
Sirius is gonna be black.
Oh my god.
Sirius Black will be black.
Seriously,
yeah. Well, to be fair, if you go off J.K. Rowling's like naming conventions for her characters, Sirius Black being black isn't the craziest thing. I mean, the other prominent black man in the series is named Kingsley Shacklebolt. Okay,
yes.
So the Asian character's named Cho Chang.
Yeah,
you know,
she just should have named her Ching Chong Bing Bong.
Did anyone? I forget. Did anyone mention G20 on their worst?
Disparu.
I did.
Okay, gotcha. That one and Mickey 17.
I had to put in War of the Worlds because it was so fucking bad.
Yeah,
it was so
that was just
memeable.
amusingly bad.
It was. I mean, a whole movie of Ice-T. They can't even like afford furniture. He's in a green screen. His acting is terrible. Famous patriot playing a Homeland Security officer. Remember, like I think his first album on his own was America, and it's spelled with a KKK in it. I remember selling it at Sam Goody back in the day, long time ago. So yeah, that my favorites. We'll just do my favorites. Mobland, #1 by far, best show of the year. Can't wait for season 2. Clarkson's Farm. Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, damn, what a
good pick.
Everything good about the world is in that show. It is just an old fucking bumbling man trying to like farm is hilarious.
And when we find out that Amazon were going, can you talk him out of making this show?
Yes.
Like, please, just this show will be awful. And then they talk to Clarkson, and he's going, yeah, I'm scared it'll be awful as well. I think it'll be boring as hell.
Well, the only reason it exists is it was just an add-on to their contract. It was like, hey, well, to keep you around, we'll just do specials. Or you don't have to do the regular show anymore. And then you all get your solo shows. And
if you watch season 1, you can see that they're trying to do the Top Gear thing where he's getting the drone in and he's trying to make it big. I've got a massive tractor. And then they find out it's actually the people and just the story of the animals and what happens. And so it just evolves naturally.
But it's like this massive hit that costs nothing to make because it's like literally just following him around as he farms.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
It's edited by the guy who edited Top Gear, Andy Willman. His involvement is like, if you want to learn a lot about like how things work in the industry and how to capture lightning in a bottle, he's got a book out. He's doing the rounds on interviews. If you're a fan of the show at all, of Top Gear or Grand Tour or Clarkson's Farm, listen to the interviews with Andy Willman. They're fucking great.
He used to go to school with Clarkson, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mobland, Clarkson's Farm, Frankenstein, Weapons, which are 2 movies that wouldn't have been like back when movies were good. They probably wouldn't have cracked my top 10, but they're up there. F1, and then Reacher and Landman.
Man, Landman that low? I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily in order, and Landman's not done yet. So
yeah, that's true.
I just caught up with it last night. But Last Samurai Standing would have easily been in the top 3. Just based on the 3 episodes I've seen so far, which are magnificent. So there you go. We're going to get to Soup's Drinker. Do you going to stay? Do you need to go, sir?
I'll probably have to drop out because I'm still like recovering from open bar last night.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging this long. I appreciate it.
No, it's always great to come on, man. Thanks for having me here.
So give the guy a sub. He's struggling right now. So his channel's under attack, and
he's
all that
a
stuff.
young and upcoming
do
channel.
it for the gays, okay?
Yeah.
Do it for all the
your gay
Wills out
friend.
there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Drinker. Thanks
Later,
for
guys.
bringing in the year with us,
Yeah.
man. Hail the critical drinker. God, I wish I could have said more about Doomsday. I don't want to get people in trouble, though.
This year is
Gary,
like one of
allow
the
us to
worst-
go to the cinema and be disappointed. You don't have to ruin our disappointment for us.
Right.
I'm seriously trying to
Will it
wonder.
really be disappointing? I mean, ruined, that is.
I've got no expectations for that film.
No. What was that, Shad? What were you saying?
I'm seriously trying to wonder if this is one of the worst year for media of my life. There's nearly 20 choices that could easily be on my top 5 worst pieces of media to suffer through.
Much easier to do that list.
This is packed full.
It gets harder and harder to do the top 5 at the end of each year. It's like, holy shit. And this was the worst year as far as since COVID, just like lack of releases, but what they did release was
just crap.
Well, I think it was tough because there's a lot of possibilities for the worst, but it was difficult for the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like for me, it was difficult to, and I had a couple honorable mentions or whatever, but you know,
no,
it was not a lot of good stuff.
I got Nick's Perry's like, you can't do general stuff. You can't do, because I wanted to do Marvel, like comics.
Yeah.
I was just like, Marvel had a shit. He's like, nope, you got to be specific. And I'm like, okay. All right. And he's right. He's right. So let's get to the people.
Basically, that was a big fuck you to comics who just did like 4 general things on his list.
Pretty much. In a roundabout, not so roundabout way.
It would literally be everything from Disney if I just did, a straight up movie top 5, right? Because that's the reason why I just said, MCU, Disney, and Hollywood, because I mean, in reality, they really are the biggest losers.
Well, and time is going to tell on James Gunn, the JGU.
Well, he started off as a net loss leader, so we'll see what happens.
Started out with 2 really
denying that.
I'm glad we didn't get a Sinners in the top 5.
I did not like. I thought it was
Sinners.
Overhyped
He's in my
movie,
top
racist as
5.
fuck.
I liked Sinners, and I was going to put it up there.
I bet
and
you
remember
did.
Ryan was on the panel.
Overrated.
I remember Ryan was on
That's
the
because
panel. I
you're
was like,
black.
yeah,
It's because you're racist.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that fucking every fucking kind of music in the world we've invented and white people just steal it from us? It's the whole plot of that stupid fucking movie, dude.
That's not even
And
the
if it
plot.
wasn't any more
The
clear
Irish
than
guy
that,
had his
what
own
is the plot?
music.
What is the plot?
That is the entire point of the movie. At the very end, they just have to have the entire fucking clan show up. Like,
I mean,
Rolling.
I
I didn't see that in theaters. I waited for a while to watch that, and people said such good things. And I do think there's some great performances, and I think some of the cinematography is really good in it and shit. And I watch them like this. Fuck
Ryan
this
was going to
movie.
hit it. Roland the Wretched,
Surprise.
4 parts for $100. Happy New Year, FNQ. It has been finally revealed where Gary got his education, and it was from the Quality Leering Center. And that really explains a lot. I am really proud of Gary going back and getting his diploma 5 years ago. You're an inspiration. I did get my high school diploma, and it was like 10 years after I was supposed to graduate high school. I
Didn't know it was from Somalis though. That's a new piece of
It was.
information to
It
add.
was.
into
Yeah. I got straight A's though. Hey, whatever.
I mean, Max managed to graduate when she was in a coma for 2 years and hadn't studied. So
She did.
I do wonder how that happened. Yes.
Roland, part 2. For all the Ian's bad deeds in 2025, he will start 2026 by playing Fail Guard, the all trash, all time edition. If you want to avenge Ian, subscribe to my channel. And if I get to 500 subs, I have to watch / review a Bollywood abomination called Cocktail 2.
Yes.
I don't even want to know.
I don't either. What in the world?
Do they throw
Sounds
poop at
Indian.
each other?
It is. We are going through a list of movies that are coming out this year. We saw Cocktail 2. We're like, what? They're making a sequel, and it's a Bollywood movie.
So is it a sequel to a Bollywood cocktail?
I guess. I have no idea.
Will it
I
be a
just saw it on the
trilogy?
list.
That's got a whole new meaning there.
Cocktail 3
Yeah.
coming soon to a theater.
Not
near
about
you.
making drinks. Welcome back to the Critical Drinker. I know how hard it is for Disparu to carry the British representation on his own, so I sure Disparu is grateful. I'm sure Disparu is grateful to have a fellow Brit on the panel. Hi, Terry. He doesn't care. He's gone. He's gone. It has been a while, and I know you have missed this banter. Apparently, he hasn't. He's off to have a pee. Today's read is, oh my God, what is this? Odin, Galatians?
Galatians, yeah, you got it.
I got it right.
Nice
Yeah.
job.
328. Galatians. There is neither Brit nor Papua New Guinea, for you are all one on FNQ. Hail FNQ, Fellowship Chat, Mods, Little Thor, NRP, Pizza Time Pizza, no betting, Dan Voss, finishes Man Buns are Gay in 2026. Until next time, so long, guys. I was just trying to finish that as fast as I could.
Neither Brit nor Papua New Guinea. That's good.
Brit nor Papua New Guinea. Another year passes, another year without a song. Dan Vask welching on his fucking back.
Oh, man.
I bet that he started.
I bet that he started, and I called and said, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
He doesn't have Windows. He's having a hard time.
He doesn't. Well, he's in a fucking communist hellhole right now. So,
Aren't we all?
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
Some more than others.
Yeah, I'm not. That dude Darty has sent 15 Nerdrotic memberships for, or 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Thank you. And Noons, the lovely Noons, has sent 50 Nerdrotic gift memberships for $250. To see Noons in Japan, maybe sooner. Maybe sooner.
Japan's coming up before we know it, huh, Gary?
Bro, it is 4.5 months away. A little over.
Really?
Are you ready? Are you ready, Ryan?
I got my passport. What the fuck else I need?
Nothing.
Plane ticket, I suppose.
Yeah, plane ticket. You got to get one of those. That's going to be fun. We sold out. 80 people are going, bro.
You know why, right?
Because you.
Obviously. Me. Obviously. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I think it's going to be exciting in Japan.
Both of these trips have been tons of fun, despite me getting sick on both of them. I don't think I'm going to get sick in Japan. All right. It's,
well, they wear masks a lot. So.
Pretty modern. Yeah. But we're going to have like 4 buses checking out megaliths and hitting the town. I'm excited.
Probably helps.
I'm excited.
You're gonna learn some Japanese
water and soap, things like that in this country.
Do they use bidets over there in Japan?
Oh, they have the fancy toilets, the electric ones with AI targeting and all the crap.
That's right.
AI targeting.
No, they do it. They scan you
bumhole,
and it detects
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually photographs your ass. Got it. It does. It's like there's a camera that targets.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't think it's connected to the internet. It's not going to be
oh, he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care if somebody photographs my ass. They want to see it. Go ahead.
If some little Japanese fucking nerd wants to jerk off looking at my asshole, I guess whatever.
It's got to be a really uncomplimentary angle, though, as well.
I gotta talk to you, Ryan, about the logistics of that. Because
about the toilets.
About photographing his
about the toilets. Yeah,
I don't know if I want to talk to you about
the trip. Not the toilets, but if you want to talk about that, okay, that's cool.
I got prison stories.
Yeah. I got stories,
Just a big guy spitting.
Aruka Fire, $100 rant on the Rumble. How much did Netflix screw with the plot, do you think? How much control do the Duffer brothers have? Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I don't think a lot. I think the Duffers had...
Netflix didn't do shit. They let them do whatever they want, and to be fair, they've probably proven they can let them do whatever they want. And despite, I think, some disappointment with this season, it is going to go on to become the most viewed English thing they've ever had in history.
Yep.
As far as TV shows go. So I think they're overall probably pretty happy with it.
I think it just tracks for this year. Highest grossing movie will be fucking Avatar or Zootopia 2 or, something. And then, just slop. Not Another Dime has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. It's a lot of dimes. Half shaved bridge kitten. 4 parts for $80. That's corporations, X-Ray Girl, not cooperation. Corporations don't like taking risk because risk equals potential loss. Yet that's not the big issue. A generation is considered 20 years. What we have witnessed is the growth and death of not just franchises in a single decade, but the death of legacy. Ooh, this is good. Legacy franchise was not one legacy franchise was born. Many died. John Wick, The Conjuring, Fast and Furious. Don't hit that. I can't read it. Hunger. I can barely read it now. Hunger Games, How to Train Your Dragon. These franchises started and rose in 2000, but none have grown. None have growth potential of legacies. They will end soon. With current trends, Hollywood is not just doomed. It may replace Detroit within a generation. I did mention that in the video, that people might start using Hollywood as the analogy, or California rather than Detroit. The woke mobs, cannibalistic.
That was OCP though.
What?
It was OCP that did Detroit dirty.
Yes. The woke mob's cannibalistic nature isn't over. Its infection already has colleges, media, and corporations. Should we investigate the money? Well, we can't. USAID is gone, by the way. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, China, and Kuwait have been the top countries donating for several decades. Is it connected? I don't know. There's lots of foreign influence, lots and lots, and domestic in Hollywood, and they're vying for it now. Saudi Arabia really wants to get involved.
Yes, they
really does want to get involved.
The thing with risk is, if you're making 10 movies that cost $30 million each, 9 of them can fail. The other one turns into a franchise, and so you can just take as many risks as you need. When you're making $300 million on one movie, you can't take any risks. It's got too big.
No, and that's what brought in DEI in the first place. Risk aversion. They are fine with a lot. They can't be called racist, so they were extorted. And they also agreed with a lot of it too. Let's not pretend that they're like these innocent people who didn't agree with these thoughts. They just, let the wolf in the door and thought it was, a sheep.
No, they let a wolf in the door, known full well as a wolf. They were just too retarded to think that the wolf was going to attack them.
Same
we
thing.
Can tame the wolf. We can tame it. It'd be fine. It's stunning and brave.
Well, we have a lot of market research as from 25-year-old women, woke white women, who just graduated university, that said this is the next generation and this is what they want. Although they have never done anything but live outside their parents' house until they went to school.
But they know
Still live
better
there now.
They're smarter.
Of course, because their teacher told them they were. Chris Taki for $100. I watch you guys every week. Thank you. Love you guys. But I am disappointed that no one has made the connection to Dark Crystal. Mind Flayer's body is Skeksis' castle, and the kids are surrounding Vecna like the Skeksis and the Dark Crystal chamber. Only cool thing the entire season.
And also in season 1, Mike's got a poster in his room of that specific image that looks just like the Mind Flayer's body, and in this in season 5.
Yeah, that's all this thing is regenerated greatest hits from the 80s, but it looking like the castle, but no meaning. Like The Great Dark Crystal, which is a brilliant fucking movie, by the way. Great soundtrack by the late great Trevor Jones. But dude, they were calling back to the Goonies this season, like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to say Rise of Skywalker, and it's like that's a Goonies reference, bro.
It's Goonies.
Which I'm not even a big Goonies fan.
I'm not either.
Kind of fucking retarded.
How dare you?
But yes, good call, Chris Taki. Good call. Thank you very much. Cinema Siblings LLC for 50. It's Happy New Year's panel. Lorelei from the YouTube channel Southern Fried Cinema Siblings, our drinker-inspired episode, Avatar, Why It Had No Cultural Impact, is up now. An anti-Western struggle session disguised as Dances with Wolves in Space. Love y'all. Yes. Avatar's woke.
You know what the best part about it is?
What's
it
that?
is desperate attempt to say that humans are terrible and compare humans to the white people, blah, blah, blah. Yep. The fucking most important people in this entire war are either humans or part human.
Yep.
Fucking like Sully is human. The fucking stupid bitch who is like cloned and is like the chosen one, whatever. She's like a human fucking hybrid. Like the most important people on Pandora, the people that are saving everyone happen to be humans because they're too dumb. The indigenous races are too fucking stupid to do it themselves. So based James Cameron.
Dude, and they almost got something right when with the Fire Nation, whatever the fuck they were called, were out to just kill the other tribe. You know, that would have been more accurate. If they had a lot more of that on Pandora. You know,
how the real Indians
upset
are.
There wasn't a land acknowledgement. That's what I really wanted to see.
It's interesting how different countries read it because you could also look at it as everyone should just stay where they are, which would be the most base message you could send.
That is the most British point of view.
Manifest destiny. Yeah, over here we have manifest destiny, bro.
It's like, actually, no.
That planet belongs to us.
Maybe one or two could actually be of benefit.
I'm not surprised the Brit would say, "Why bother?"
No, it's
just stay home.
Well, you guys did.
Let us take care.
No, I was like, that's a
you
that's
guys
a
went
nice
to a bunch of
planet you guys got
covers.
there. It's ours.
Countries, you gave them power grids and roads and all this stuff, and then gave it back.
Yeah.
Then look what happened. Colonialism is civilization.
Yep. Wasn't it Obama's brother said we missed the colonists? I wish they had come back.
Actually,
brought all the good
they left the left the vacuum too. So power vacuum equals civil war and strife.
Yeah,
bro. Half of Africa would not have wheels. Would not have two-story buildings. Like these are not things that black people came up with before white people got there, despite the rest of the world figuring it out.
How do you know that? How do you know it wasn't like
an
Wakanda?
educated fucking guess?
I've heard it was like Wakanda at one point. That's what I've heard.
The isolationist ethno state that had to fight off an immigrant invasion in their movie.
Yeah. Like Kulkulkan.
Xenophobes versus xenophobes.
Dude, they opened a force field with turntables. Waka, 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 waka.
That's right. And drums. We need to lower the shield. Dun, 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 dun. What happens if you play the wrong rhythm? Does it like something blow up in another area? Oh no!
Yes, I was the only one in the the theater was half full, but I was laughing my ass off throughout the movie, and I'm the only guy laughing in there, and by myself probably sound like a complete retard with the track. I mean, to be honest, but Hayden Wayne for 50. The best scenario would be Doom doing what Thanos did and what Thanos should have done in Infinity War. They all just die. Doom wins. It's over. MCU done. I would cheer. Just make it R-rated and end it. It basically died when Thanos snapped anyway. Yeah, their truly last good movie. Well, and one of the better Avengers movies, honestly, what would you say the second best one is Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infinity War is legitimately good.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I love Infinity War.
Yep. I love that Thanos also came to the same conclusion. He goes, you know what, man? Next time, I'm just going to kill you all.
Yeah.
He's like, I realize you guys kind of suck. You're the problem, not me. Like, yeah. What a mess.
What was it in Hawkeye when he walks up to a urinal and says Thanos was right? Like, yeah. Not many people watched Hawkeye. Remember, that was a show that came out.
And quickly forgotten.
Isn't there a season 2 or something?
Nope.
Well, no, they offered Jeremy Renner half the money to do a season 2.
And he was like,
so
fuck
he
off.
told him to fuck off.
He was disabled.
He's like, I don't need the money. Like, you guys need me, not the other way around. So
No, it was worse than that.
Drop now.
Okay, hey, thanks, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Merry
Doing all the
Christmas.
other stuff. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
But it was worse than that because it was done after his accident. So he said, "You're offering me half the money because you think I'm half the man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and they I mean, dialing back contracts because they had to give all the extra money to fucking Robert Downey Jr. is my guess. But but internally they're
Downeyland.
Well, see, this is why I hear conflicting shit, Odin, because I heard specifically from somebody who works there and said, yeah, we're really going to try to bring down the budgets, but then fucking Doomsday's coming out. They said maybe he meant after this, he could have meant that. But Doomsday could potentially be the first $1 billion flop of all time.
Oh.
Well, okay, Rise of Skywalker
Rise
might
of
be.
Skywalker,
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker might be under that too. But remember, like, people were denying that forever. I was talking about it because I heard from somebody at fucking Lucasfilm that they're like, yeah, our budget just ran up to $625 million. I'm like, you are fucking kidding me. He's all, nope. And I'm like, oh, you are not going to make money back.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. They didn't. The Norman Conquest for 50 British pounds proper money. I'm going to guess that the reason Dr. Doom is killing the multiverse is that his Morgan Stark died instead, because Morgan Stark died instead of him in his version of Endgame. Gary, you mentioned the Philadelphia experiment. The ship involved was on the other side of the pond at the time. The USS Eldridge, it was... I thought that was the ship involved with the Philadelphia experiment, but I could be wrong. It's in Greece now, right? Yeah, it's been a minute since I read that book. I've slept since then, so but it's okay. That's what they meant anyway. So they meant that they were doing stuff up. They didn't mention what I read on Wikipedia, like everybody else about the play, was they didn't mention the Philadelphia experiment specifically, but they mentioned turning ships and planes invisible, which was the Philadelphia experiment. So Nandy for $49.99. Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, the movie, Chainsaw Man, Reza Arc 3, Mobland 4, F1 5, Durandar, worst of. Number 5 is Durandar. Never heard of it. Sorry.
Oh, was that a Bollywood or Indian film?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Worst, and this is from Nandy. Worst of 2025, lack of hot women. Warner Brothers failure. Ironheart, Fantastic Four could have set up Doomsday. It didn't. And Mission Impossible 8 is number 5 for them. All right.
Yeah. I haven't watched the Demon Slayer one, but I've heard good things. And I think, some more anime probably deserves some honorable mentions because anime's killing it.
Yeah, the Demon Slayer stuff has been fantastic.
It's like what was it? One of in the top 10 highest grossing movies this year, despite being released in Japan 3 months earlier. Like, yeah, it's
yeah.
Demon Slayer
Demon Slayer is good.
All right, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say a good anime series I could recommend that came out this year is called Clevitas, medieval fantasy in a Japanese kind of style, and surprisingly decent.
Good. So the Norman Conquest, it was the Eldridge involved with the Philadelphia experiment, and I know the lore. For one, I'm going to go, are you going to believe everything the government told you, bro? Because according to government records, it was across the pond, but it was actually in Philadelphia, and then it was sent back to Greece. And when it was sent back to Greece, because somehow they weighed the ship, it was a lot lighter when it came from Philly, because they removed all the equipment that Tesla and Einstein had worked on together, and both left the project because they had problems with. This is the lore, by the way. Read the Philadelphia experiment book. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, the Eldridge afterwards was pawned off on the Greece. There's multiple versions of the story, but the one from the book is that it blinked out of existence in Philadelphia and ended up in a shipyard, I can't remember now, in Jersey. And when it came back, sailors were melded, like inside the walls.
And the floor of the ship in the walls.
And the floor of the ship. And they saw like when it happened, a green mist happened and everything disappeared. And it basically, instead of going invisible, it transported. And it was, God, what was the technology they were using? It was electromagnetism and something else now. Yeah, like it's been 20 years since I read the book. That's the lore. That's the lore. And yes, they've made a movie on it, and a lot of shows have borrowed from it because it's whether you believe the story or not, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Look, after the last few years, I'm willing to believe anything at this point. Yep. Like you tell me it's a theory, I'll just be like, that's probably true.
And the movie's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, the Nazis. Okay, so chat. The Nazis had the Glocken, the bell.
The bell.
Right? So, and the bell did transport in time, and it was supposedly seen in Pennsylvania in the 60s. You say it's a myth. I say it's fact.
That's crazy.
I want one of those bells.
I've seen too many myths come true, though. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, fucking MK Ultra was always considered the craziest of conspiracy theories. They actually tried that.
Yep.
So
still are. They just don't call it that anymore.
Remote viewing was an actual program that they ran for a very long, and still do. They just renamed it. They haven't ended these programs. They rename them.
Nope.
Yuri Geller was a celebrity over here who was famous for bending spoons. Then it turns out he was working with your government on remote viewing. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yep. And it's something you can teach people. Yeah. And then, lots of experience with acid. That's discounting my personal experiments with acid, which were many.
Okay. You didn't get superpowers.
I'm experimenting. I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
Because he's,
the Pantless Hero has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50.
The next phase of Marvel.
The next phase of Marvel. The next phase of Marvel. X-Ray Girl, you there? You can come back in. She's probably traveling. She's in her prison cell.
Yeah. She can't see the screen because the light shining in her eyes.
Oh, there's too many people.
Now it's bright. Gosh.
Yeah.
That was bright. Is there any from Ryan Kinnell?
Not that I saw.
Okay, that's good.
Then I can do a little refresh.
All right. Yeah, because it's holidays, we're gonna wrap it up there, make it a little shorter show. And I will be back Monday for a square up on Nerdrotic Live and Rumble. But we'll let these people go to enjoy their weekend or finish their hangovers, whatever you want to do. And what do you got coming up? Comics Division.
Well, tonight, because Roland bribed me to do it, I'm fucking playing that stupid Veilguard game, and I got to play it to completion with. I love how you said trash, which is pretty fucking accurate, but it's Tosh. But yeah, trash is pretty apt. That's about it for me. So I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. I'm seeing that. Did we lose Rumble?
Uh-oh. Did we lose Rumble because we didn't say the N-word?
Probably.
Like, this isn't racist enough. Like, banned.
I got a
saw that message. I just saw that message too. 1 second.
Sure. And Odin.
Yeah, you can find me over at OMB Reviews on YouTube and also on Rumble as well. Also over on X. Box Office Breakdown video will go live on Sunday around 2 p.m. Geeks and Gamers article will also go live later that night. And it'll be interesting to see how Avatar does over this very dead weekend where no new releases have come out.
Oh, yeah. Well, because Avatar's out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go to any other movie except for Avatar.
Yeah, that's all there is.
Yeah.
How's Marty Supreme doing, or whatever that is?
It seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, for a smaller budgeted film, I think that this kind of also shows that Timothée Chalamet can sell tickets. Like, he's one of the few celebrities today that probably can sell, a lot more than Dwayne The Rock Johnson. We can say that much.
Yeah. More than you expect for the type of movie or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he's like low drama too. He doesn't have a lot of bad.
He actually gives a fuck about shit. Like, he actually wants to be a good, like a respected actor and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. It is like a $40 million budget on that one, right? Which is one of the highest they've ever had.
Yeah, it's definitely higher for them, but in the general scheme of films, it's obviously a lot smaller than the major films these years.
All right. X-Ray Girl, while you're looking that up.
Rumble is still live. So
Okay. Yeah, I got
we're
something
fine on
warning
there.
up. Yeah.
And then tomorrow, Saucy Saturday, and then Forbidden Frontier on Sunday, The Return. I know we've been away. And we're going to be talking about the documentary on Sasquatches. That'll be fun.
Bigfoot. Yeah, that's right. I want to believe, but it's very hard for me to believe that.
Oh.
The dog believes. The dog agrees.
Dog, listen to us. It's real.
Mikey, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, just doing streams. I gotta finish up. I'm still working on The Evil Within, which is the worst game in the whole world. But no, I have a bunch of other streams I'm working on right now, and 2026 gonna be doing a lot more streaming, a lot more videos. Got a kind of cool plan. And then Geeks and Gamers, we're doing our thing. Jeremy likes to let us know what the plan is day of, so I couldn't tell you what we have planned, but we have stuff working.
Should we resubscribe to Locals?
Yeah, resubscribe to Locals. Apparently, we're still doing that. After 3 weeks of telling people not to do that anymore, and then learning that stream that very moment that we were. Yeah,
I was watching.
I couldn't believe it, dude. He's like, Ryan's gonna be so mad at me. Dude.
It was fucking news to me. So
it was news to everybody, apparently.
Well, when he got the text from Tommy, it wasn't good. So.
Oh, that was the most Jeremy move of Jeremy moves I've ever seen. So
it's like, what the fuck? Did we tell him we're not doing that anymore?
It's so fucking funny.
Well, remember, this is like a giant, like,
highly organized, baby.
Super organized.
Disparu.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a review / kind of summary of responses, including the Duffer Brothers for the Stranger Things finale. Then I still want to do something about the that Lost Generation article that came out about. Well, it was about various things, but one of them was the state of Hollywood and cutting out people based on essentially their race from Hollywood a few years ago, and seems to have gone back a lot further than most people thought, which I suppose is because of the lag and things. Yeah, and then there's still other stuff I haven't back. I still want to review Bride Hard at some point. I will review that movie.
I don't think there's a time limit on that one. Just do it.
No.
Just do it. Awesome. Thanks, Disparu. Thank you very much. Shad, it's your turn.
Oh, thanks, Gary. I've experienced a milestone on Shadiversity. Our very first 10 out of 10 perfect sword that we received.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Let's take a look at this.
Gary, it's kind of like a Lord of the Rings adjacent.
That
sword.
is nice.
Do you see the crossguard on this?
I do. Yeah.
Like an covering.
That's the Aragon Ranger crossguard.
That is Strider's sword. Yeah.
But with a couple of variants, and so it's not exact. It actually is an improvement. I have Tyrant actually skinned the handle, so the ones you buy don't have this. Has a wire wrap, but this sword, the review just dropped last night. Holy crap! 10 out of 10. Perfect. It's amazing and so good that re-hilted, and it's like now my new favorite. This thing is just
shiny,
nice.
Yeah,
pointy.
Put down a Christmas tree with that.
Drew it, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
very
the way you pull your sword out of your sheath.
That leather sheath. Look at that.
I'm shocking. Best sword I've ever reviewed, and the review is now out on Shadiversity. You can see why. I smashed one of the versions of these swords into
I smashed the sword.
I smashed the sword. I smashed it into a steel pipe, and it only had the edge didn't roll, it didn't dent, it only had mild kind of scuffing. One of the toughest swords ever.
Where's it from?
So
my sword is tough. It's long.
Smash it against
super hard.
You want to know who makes this sword? It's color this is not helping my case.
China.
It's made by a company called Romance of Men.
What? I can see why you didn't mention that before.
What did you say?
We call them ROM for short, but
the ROM.
It's a translation. It's something lost in translation.
Translation?
Is this what romantasy means? It's actually Romance of Men fantasy.
Men who fantasize about swords. Yeah, check it. So if you want like a crazy functional version
Wow.
of the Strider sword, essentially.
You have the same
But
one,
This
Terry?
thing is, well, it's
So you got a mini one.
This thing is
Yeah.
freaking sharp.
Sword and a
I
sword.
have cut myself on it a couple of times.
Where's this
Yes.
company based? Somewhere in the UK?
No, it's a Chinese company that sells these ones, and their quality is just going skyrocket. Because there's a separate company that is actually making just full-on Lord of the Rings replicas, fully functional, sharp, like Glamdring here.
Fully functional.
Fully functional. But battle ready, like serious swords. And so these Chinese companies are killing it. They're making crazy good quality swords at really
Choice of
low
words.
prices. Well, you know.
Commie.
I'm a
Chrissy.
capitalist.
Yeah, I
Free
know.
market, and if they're making a good quality thing at a great price, I don't care.
Romance
if it's made out of
men.
China.
Romance the men. Yeah.
Chrissy.
Oh, Simpcast on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday on Nightmare, I will be interviewing the legend comedian Jackie Martling. And I believe that's going to be.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he'll be live in studio. He's a friend. He's a cool guy.
Joke man Jackie. Oh,
Jackie's a joke
never
man.
was the same after it. Well, Artie was pretty good, but for a little bit. But Jackie was my era of listening to Howard Stern. So
He's great.
that'll be awesome. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ryan.
My channel, I guess. I put out videos. I stream on Wednesdays and Sunday evenings. I stream on Monday night. Fuck My Life with Vera Dark. I do Sports Wars. We stream on Sundays and Mondays. I do Geeks and Gamers Daily at 11 Eastern. Who knows? Jeremy could call tomorrow and say that's not happening, or I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's what I got going on. So
He's still sick. He's still sick, right? That's why he wasn't here today. He's got a little cough.
I don't fucking know why he wasn't here, but he has been really sick. So some sort of immunodeficiency thing. I'm not sure.
Will be caused by sucking all that dick.
Some penis.
Bathhouses aren't making me feel better. What's going on?
Has anybody seen Ricky Gervais's special?
It is on my list. I haven't watched
yet.
it yet, though.
I'll have to go check it out.
It starts out a little slow and gets good towards the end. Yeah, when he's in hell and he's all, oh damn it, I'm sucking Hitler's cock. It's so good.
Surely that's got to be one of the easier things to do in hell.
No, that's what he
It's like,
points
I'm
out,
jumping
it
on
is.
this. That's way easier.
Yeah,
I have
it's-
spikes up me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, it was number one over Stranger Things in the UK for like a minute. I don't know if that's still the case, but
I liked when he started talking about the Golden Globes as well, and he was kind of explaining how you get the jokes passed. And you have to meet with an army of lawyers first just to get permission to say it.
all right. I'm working on a Stranger Things review for season 5. It'll be out Monday. It's going to take a while. Going to take my time with this one because it's going to be long. And yeah, and then Forbidden Frontier on Sunday. It's coming back with Adam and Garrett, maybe, unless he's editing. And then we're going to talk about Bigfoot. Who do we have next week?
We have Gundam.
Gundam is back.
Hey.
Gundam returns on FNT. So everybody, hope you had a very happy Christmas, happy New Year. Hopefully,
Merry
2026 is way better than 2025. Fuck that year. Glad it's over. And thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. There will be a Square Up Monday on Nerdrotic Live and on Rumble. And thanks to everyone who participated. We will see you next time. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Here they come and the crowd cannot wait. Oh, hail Friday Night Lights. I apologize cause I'm probably late. Oh, hail Friday Night Lights. Radical lights.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.